Welcome to Wednesday Comics.
Brought to you by rootsoftheswampthing.com and Siouxpercon 2018 Return of the Con.
Hey everyone, keep turning those pages.
Welcome to Wednesday Comics. To my right, we have Bat Dong himself. Alex, how you doing?
Hello everybody.
And across from me, Bat Dick himself. Garrett, how you doing?
Bad Dick Grayson.
And I am your host. My name is Bat Cock. My name is Marvin. We're the Wednesday Comics Podcast. We're here to review some books for you that came out 9/19/2018, 9/19/2018. Next year, 9/19/19. You know
Oh,
that?
dang.
Wow, didn't
Lot
see
of
that
nines.
coming.
Triple 19.
It's a lot of nines.
And ones.
We are a weekly comic book podcast. Talk about reviews. We have a feature where usually sometimes it's a game. Sometimes we get really good in discussion. We got book clubs. We got everything you want in comic books. Speaking of which, having everything, game shows. Next week, when you listen to this Friday, September 28th at 8 p.m., Sioux Falls Convention Center. We will be there doing a game show with returning guests.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Did I say Sioux Falls Convention
Just
Center?
Sioux Falls. Yeah. But there's people from outside South Dakota that don't know
Is
what
there
the fuck
another
Sioux Falls is. I bet you
sure there is.
If you Google,
There's another Canton,
if you
like,
Google
every
Sioux
state.
Falls Convention Center, what pops up?
You just wait. You just
Go
wait,
to
sir.
Wednesday Comics up on Facebook, facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. We have an event. Say that you're going there so we know how many people are coming. But we will be there. We're giving a live show, 2 hours long, and we will be the return of Jimmy, the game show host, will be there with 2 contestants and a bunch of guests. It's going to be a fun time. Siouxpercon.com for tickets. It's $10 per day or $30 for the whole weekend. Recommend just get that weekend pass. Don't have to worry about it. Can come back this Saturday. Me and Alex will be around, shaking hands, taking names. Sitting right next to Phil Hester. So if you come to see Phil Hester, we'll be the two sitting there chit-chatting with nobody in our line while Phil Hester has a line out the window. Probably making jokes to make Phil laugh, and we'll be in the corner. We're actually right in the corner. Have you seen, I haven't shown you the map yet. I'll show you.
I didn't say
We're like
anything to
in
that.
the corner. They put us in the corner. Of course. I mean, where the fuck are you?
No one puts baby in a corner.
We'll be there, and then Sunday I'm gonna bring my son over there. Bring him there, show him around. It's family day. He's gonna see some superheroes, maybe Batman. He loves Batman.
Does that mean I'm only
Spider-Man?
me? Well, I guess I'm the one manning the booth because you guys have kids. I'll be there.
I don't know.
myself.
I don't know if my wife and daughter are going to be swinging by or not. So
We'll be
Well,
around,
if they don't, I can be your kid
thanks.
because I don't have a daddy that'll come.
and because you're 10. So did you look up
Because we're
Sioux Falls
10?
Convention Center? You googled it?
But my phone's
Oh, okay.
it knows where my location
Oh,
is.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure people in Alaska are like, oh, I can't wait to go to Sioux Falls Convention Center.
Yeah,
It must be only 5 miles away.
yeah.
India. I'm going to
sure.
fly over to
Jeez,
Sioux Falls.
I've never heard of this place, but it's probably 5 miles from my house. Yeah, I'm sure.
That was my sarcasm. Buddy.
Speaking of, it was mine too. Speaking
yours
of
didn't work.
Far, Far Away, Captain Marvel trailer came out this week, and we watched it. Couple things I want to ask. Not much in the trailer. It's kind of one of those teaser trailers, and so it's just glimpses of action. Right? No story was told in that trailer. It's more just like, hey, here's your suit. Here's how the action looks. Yada yada yada. Here's Nick Fury looking young, 2 eyes. Young Agent Coulson in that trailer.
And they do a good job of that.
They actually do. Nick Sam Jackson looks better than when he was actually that age. So
Yeah, right.
I like how you can start a trailer and you know that it takes place in the past because she flashed to a Blockbuster video, and you're like, man, that's the past. That's not
That was
today.
pretty hilarious.
I bet it's a great way to set up that it's not now, like
Well,
right
it could,
away.
It could be the last Blockbuster.
No, they
though.
closed down.
I'm
close that last
doing one chime in here quick. I believe there really is only one Sioux Falls.
Gotcha.
Dude, you have your location services on.
This is the Sioux Nation.
I never
And
let
Falls is in
anybody know
here.
where I am.
It is specific.
I know, in Supernatural, they come to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Okay, fine. Maybe you're
Okay.
right. I'm just saying we have more than listeners inside South Dakota and Iowa.
And plus, we're
Minnesota.
here, so like it's nationally known, globally known. Who knows?
It is globally. We have it in different countries.
So Captain Marvel, the things I thought were cool about it, she goes binary at the end. It's pretty cool.
What does that mean?
When she's gaining a whole lot of power, she goes binary. She's like one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe. She goes binary. So at the end, that cool shot that you were talking about before we started, that's her turning binary.
Binary. Sounds like a computer.
I did like her suit, the one with the mask and the mohawk thing. That made me actually excited for the movie, that they're actually going to show that. And I just like the vibe of it, like 90s. I don't know what it is. I just like how it looked. There's a couple cool shots. I don't know. I think it's directed by somebody who is, it's their first movie, I think, maybe. I know it's a female director. I forget who it is, though. But it just looks cool. So I'm there. I mean, it would have been there anyways.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like, at least doesn't look like an straight up origin story. And so it's going to be fun.
It doesn't look like a straight up origin story.
She's already.
No,
she's
they already showed.
powers.
They did flashbacks of her as a kid and like things throughout that entire trailer.
Yes, that doesn't mean it's an origin story.
I guarantee you they're
Flashbacks
gonna
does
show
not
her
mean an
origin.
origin story.
They show her as a pilot in that movie before she joins Alpha Flight.
Because she's having flashbacks.
Of her origin.
Batman has flashbacks all the time. Doesn't mean it's an origin story.
Batman Begins. Flashback
If he
to his
flashes
origin.
back to the alley, he's like, oh shit, this is an origin story again. I throw this shit in the trash. I read this already.
Dude, they show her piloting a jet before she joins Alpha Flight.
You're
Alex,
both
what do you think?
you're both right.
Doesn't make any
And
sense.
you're
That's her
both
origin of becoming
wrong.
that character.
You know what? Really, I think this
Boring.
Is like, I think this is like Doctor Strange for me. I don't know this character well enough to be hyped for seeing it. Like where I went to go see Spider-Man: Homecoming. Man, I was super amped because I love Spider-Man. If they did a Wolverine movie, I love Wolverine. I don't know Captain Marvel well enough to be like, hell yeah, give me some Carol. So there's things that looked good. I agree. I like the idea of her having her helmet, having her mask. I haven't seen Brie Larson do a lot of things, and I know she's a good actress though.
Yeah,
But
I think
a
she's a great actress.
lot of gripe that I saw on YouTube was, I can't believe Brie Larson's not that good of an actress. This looks boring. I was like, really?
That's just dumb.
You've gotten 1 minute and 57 seconds of visual content. I'm hoping that I don't see all this movie. If I'm going to spend $15 to go see it or $10 or whatever it is, I don't need to see it for free at home.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I didn't think that it was super, like, it was just an ordinary trailer for me, except for the last 10 seconds I thought was awesome. I didn't realize how much she's like Hal Jordan, like, in a way. You know, she doesn't have powers, ends up going somewhere.
Do you ever see that cover of Entertainment Weekly?
The one with her and her hair? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
EW reveals that Larson's Karen Danvers has already have her superpowers, making this not an origin story in any way.
He can't be wrong ever. Dude, they literally show her as a kid, as a pilot,
You know,
before
I think
she
you
gets her
misunderstand what an
powers.
origin story is.
As
that's
any
why.
as
What's an origin story?
It means it tells them from before they have powers, and the whole movie's about them becoming a superhero. That's an origin
Oh, so she
story.
just starts as a superhero.
She's already a superhero. She's just having flashbacks to her past.
if literally
Then why is she wearing that green suit, not her Captain Marvel suit?
That's her suit.
The red and blue suit?
She's part of the Kree army, and that's the Kree suit.
Is it the green one?
Yes.
So she's not Captain Marvel yet?
It's not about her becoming Captain Marvel. She
Well, I
already is
thought-
Captain Marvel. That's Captain Marvel's in the trailer. She takes his mantle.
And becomes Captain Marvel?
No, Captain Marvel.
Marvel, but she becomes that from him?
Doesn't mean it's
it'd
an
be
origin story.
Well, it's the origin of her becoming that character.
Is Batman? He doesn't become Batman right away. So you're saying that's another origin story? Is Nightwing?
when he,
You know what I'm
becomes, when he
excited
puts
about
the
in this
bat suit
whole-
on, he becomes
is
Batman.
Nightwing's origin story when he becomes Robin or when he becomes Nightwing?
When he becomes Robin.
no, when his family falls off their trapeze.
So you're saying that when he becomes Nightwing, that's not another origin story.
That's not his origin. His origin was as
So
Robin.
when she becomes Captain Marvel, even though she has powers already, that's not another.
She has
origin
powers
story.
before she becomes Captain Marvel.
Yes,
So what does she get from this other Captain Marvel?
it's just a title.
Oh, okay. Just a title.
like
yes.
Dick getting to
Oh,
be Batman.
Interesting.
Hey, is
Yes.
and this may be a spoiler. Is the villain in this actually someone I'm excited to see?
I don't know who the villain is.
Oh shit!
What's this?
Okay, because what I thought it was,
the
I thought it was
Skrulls.
supposed to be a Super Scroll.
Yeah, the scrolls are in the trailer.
I must have
You
missed
can see them. They're on the beach.
They're on the beach.
They're in the back. It's hard to see him.
Okay.
That's why she punches that old lady.
Oh, duh.
That
duh.
lady is a
Secret
Skrull.
Invasion.
Yeah, she's a Skrull.
Yeah, that's right.
But
I even knew that.
I was kind of
So
hoping they
stupid.
wouldn't show Phil Coulson in that trailer because I wanted that to be a surprise in the movie. Trailers just ruin everything. But it's still cool that he's going to be in that movie because, like, he started out in Iron Man as, like, one of the agents organizing this whole thing. I can't wait to see Phil
Nice to
Coulson.
see him actually make a return to the movies.
Right. Jude Law's in there on Alpha Flight. He must be the Captain Marvel or whatever. So
Why do you keep saying Alpha Flight? It's not Alpha Flight.
what's it
That's
called?
the Kree army.
Alpha
They're
Squadron.
Kree. No, they're Kree. It's a Kree
Isn't
versus
she
Skrull.
Captain Marvel from Alpha Flight?
No, she was their own. She was something else before
Yeah,
she went to Alpha
she does
Flight.
in the comics right now.
Oh.
She's leading Alpha.
I guess I'm just going off my comic
Yeah.
knowledge because I don't diddly squat about her except her name is Captain Marvel.
Carol Danvers.
So
Carol Danvers.
very possibly. Maybe you don't know her origin story. So
Yeah, I'm about to learn it in this movie.
Well, see,
so-
but see, that's the thing. This is Doctor Strange. I don't know anything about him other than
No,
he
this
was
is
a
Captain
doctor.
Marvel.
What?
what's up?
You sure this isn't Doctor Strange 2? Return of the Strange?
See, that's why I don't have to read her origin in comics. I'll just watch the movie and they'll explain it to me.
yeah,
There's
fuck
no
it.
way they're not going to touch on her origin in that movie. That's crazy.
I mean, I didn't say they wouldn't do that. I just said it's not an origin story.
But if her
It
origin's
will
in
have
it
an
could be.
origin story.
It'll probably flash back.
I didn't
to
say
how
the
she got
movie's
her
called
power.
Captain Marvel's origin story.
I'm
You were
just
just
saying-
assuming I thought that.
I'm
Oh, wait,
just
no,
saying.
she couldn't be She couldn't be Captain
Let me
Marvel.
tell you this.
The
I just want
first
to.
Avenger.
This
Dude,
is
you know
it.
the character
Listen,
more than
no, listen.
either of us do.
Listen. This is it. And then
Listen,
we can
Joe
move on.
Pesci.
This one more second. Let me ask you this: if we get a story where he's already Batman, he's been fighting Jokers for years, and then we get one scene, Batman Forever. He gets one scene where he has that flashback where his parents died and he's at the funeral. Is that an origin story?
No, he was already Batman.
Okay.
But Captain Marvel's not Captain Marvel until she gets that fucking title.
But she's Captain Danvers at that point.
Yeah.
And she still has the
Okay.
power to go.
Yeah.
Does she have the power to go binary?
She's already has her powers. Yeah.
But can she go binary before she's Captain
Pretty
Marvel?
sure, yeah.
Pretty sure. And yes.
I don't
are
think
two
she changes powers. She just gets the title. She
I
doesn't
didn't know if
inherit
she.
it.
I didn't know if she got
The same way that
like,
Kamala Khan becomes Miss Marvel, she inherits the title. She doesn't get powers. Just because you're Captain Marvel doesn't mean you get powers.
But
she
it's
has
the-
powers, and then she just gets the title.
So is she actually a Kree? No, she's a
She's half
human.
Kree.
But before
She's
that
an
point,
experiment.
she did not get the title of Captain Marvel. Correct?
So this is the
She's
origin
just
of the
Captain.
chance to be Captain
So
Marvel.
it is the origin story on how she got a title, not her powers.
I never said that. You put those words in my mouth. I said origin story of Captain Marvel. You said no, they're not doing that. She already has her powers before. That's what you said.
You said
no.
We're gonna find out how she gets her powers. Literally,
We're going
half
to.
a minute ago.
Dude, we're gonna find out that. And if you don't think that, that's crazy.
Wednesday Comics. We're getting into some favorite reviews here.
Crazy.
Roots of the SwampThing.com, your definitive online source for all things Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is heating up. A brand new series coming from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. A brand new TV series on DC's streaming service online. Roots of the SwampThing.com. A lot of stuff about his history, what he's doing today, and everything in between. Go to rootsoftheswampthing.com for more information. Batman Damn, this is number one. Brian Azzarello and Lee Borgermo. This is the DC Black Label first book. And from our nicknames at the beginning, we saw some cock in this issue.
Well, one of us didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Did you have to Google that? Kyle?
Here's the thing. These guys got it print hard copy.
Nice.
And I got it digital. I got it online, as you get all your cocks. And for me, it was censored.
That's crazy. And didn't you say it got censored from swearing too?
No, not swearing. But they changed that whole section. I wonder if I can find it here for you guys quick. I was just looking at it.
Do you have your child lock settings on your digital?
No,
app there?
everybody's complaining to me and I guess that's the one bad thing about reading digitally is they can always change it. I guess Alex has been saying for weeks, you don't really own it. So I don't really own that issue. So they went back and they changed it.
Wow, because they got backlash from Bat Dong.
But
see,
I
that doesn't
understand
make
why.
sense.
It doesn't make sense to me either because Batman White Knight, we know there's a sex scene and we know we're going to see Harley Quinn naked and they're like, it's going to be fully uncensored. So I can see Harley Quinn naked, but seeing a little bit of dong, also you gotta.
but see,
Well, dude, it's like in the movies though. Girls naked, rated R. Guys naked, X17.
it's just like Game of Thrones, right? They have women naked all the time, fully naked. And then one season they showed somebody's penis, I forgot who it was, and they're like, "Whoa, this show is too risque." And it's like, what? It's the same thing.
Was it Hodor? Because I know you
Oh
see,
yeah. That's
Because I know
right.
you see his.
They show Hodor's.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Huh?
Really, I don't remember that. Oof,
Yeah,
I don't remember.
He can hold the door to that bit.
God.
God, I gotta find it here. I gotta show you guys.
Anyways, this book's more than just Bat Dong, though.
No, I know, but it
Come
No, it's not.
But the thing is, it's not even about the dong. The thing is that you're censoring. You're saying, hey, they can do whatever they want, and they took it to that level. Brian Azzarello and Lee Borgermo were like, okay, we're going to do it, and it wasn't even in a way that was like super graphic. He got hurt, and he's taking off his bat suit, and he's naked,
Yeah.
and you see his penis twice, barely in the shadow. You can see the outline of it. And they were like,
he's Batman. He's got confidence. Why does he need fucking underwear while he's Batman?
that's what I don't understand why DC's like, whoa, and they got to cover it up. It's like, for what? That's the only thing is why you're saying these are fully uncensored and then you censor it.
I just assumed they were made uncomfortable by how well endowed Bruce is, and they're like, well, no one else should be seeing this.
Maybe they consider it pornography because it's in digital format. You know,
I just
Oh,
like a
you know
nudie
what?
mag.
You might be 100% correct.
Yeah.
Because the Apple market, like sex criminals, I know is not allowed on iTunes because of that.
Oh, really?
They can't sell the comic book
Digital.
on there. So maybe DC, instead of pulling it from there, decided just to censor it.
Plot
You know what?
thickens.
You seriously just figured it out. All these people
Damn.
complain. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
It literally is because Apple does not allow that kind of content on there. And rather than pull it from there,
They'd rather still make money.
they'd rather just censor it. And then that's why they didn't care that the print copy showed it. So I bet you anything in print, like in trade and stuff like that, it'll be there.
Well, then
I guess we'll see, though.
That's up to DC. They need to charge less and send you a print copy. That's not fair.
Yeah.
You can't offer black label.
What you
but then
guys
give
got,
you
I'm trying to do this so you can see.
PG-13.
What you guys got on the left was silent panels with him taking his clothes off. I got all those word bubbles in the right one.
Oh.
That were just being like bruising on the right, back and right thigh, swelling in the right labrum, 0.0, 0.2 greater than, evidence of multiple stab wounds, affirmative, and he's like, bullshit, is what Bruce says. But you guys got silent panels of him taking off his clothes.
I got those lines, though. I remember seeing the bullshit.
I know.
ones.
I think they show it later.
Yeah,
So they do,
It's
yeah.
later in the issue.
So instead, they put it over that. So that way,
That's such a, excuse my friend, that's such a pussy fucking rule.
that's what I'm. But
That's
what I mean.
like,
They,
why would you...
They changed their vision to be like, hey, we're going to censor. The whole fucking point was do what you
Uncensored.
want.
No rules.
Yeah.
Do what you want. No rules. Creative freedom. And then it's not even it's not even about censoring the picture. It's about changing the way the story was told, and that's what they did for me. Like they changed the way, like those balloons were nerfed. It's supposed to be silent. I looked at it and I was like, it's way better being silent. I was wondering, I was like, what's with all these word balloons when he's just trying to take off his clothes? Like, let it be like him trying to. And now that I see
Unwind.
it, I saw that before he came in here, and I got a little bit angry, being like, it was like that. So Brian Azzarello, so like my review is gonna be different than your guys' review because I read something different.
Well, let's review the book now, the story itself.
I really liked it.
Yeah. I think it was really great. Marvin, maybe I'll have to let you borrow my copy because, like, I think you should get a chance to read.
So you can see that dong.
Not because of that, but I think
It does read
if they're
really well.
censoring bubbles and changing the way the story is told, that's not fair. But
And I think they only did it because if I would have read those 3 panels, and I would have been like, if it was all like, because they darkened it up. So it like, maybe I would be like, oh, you can barely see anything. You know what I mean? So like, oh, let's put something on the page.
But even in the uncensored version, it's not like there's like a light bulb right around his penis.
No,
Like,
it's not-
It's not like
very
Andrea Sorrentino went in and circled. Look at this.
right. No, so you're right. It starts out with him getting stabbed. He's going through this pain and turmoil, like he's fighting an unseen enemy that we don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And he ends up, it's kind of like, it's what I would imagine the Dark Knight, how it would end is like after he gets shot a couple times, he's dodging the cops, he's dodging people, he's just wounded, he's trying to get to safety as fast as he can. He finally does at the Batcave after assaulting a police officer and a
Medical.
paramedic or
yeah.
an EMT or something. And that's when he takes his clothes off because like he just got the living piss beat out of him. And so he's just like assessing the situation. But he's obviously not in his right mind because he's having hallucinations. He's having flashbacks. He's he's just been put through the ringer. We don't know why yet, but he runs into John Constantine, and then Constantine starts taking.
Let me ask you a question. Did your page look like this with all the windows on that one?
I don't remember now. I don't think
I don't think
though.
so.
Was it that much text?
I don't think I've seen that much
No.
text on any page in this entire
I was
book.
gonna say this book had more prose going on in it, not nearly that many bubbles. There's maybe 3 at most on one page from time to time.
That's a lot
During the
of
Batcave.
John Constantine talking.
Okay, yeah, that's how mine was. During that scene too, yeah, there was a lot of, and it was a lot of like fluff, kind of being like almost a Rick Remender kind of clutch. That's
Yep.
what it was, of being like stab wound here and yeah. So I don't know. It did seem like filler dialogue for me.
Some
and
of it
looks like it
was.
was.
I mean, there was that scene specifically. He's not, but I think after that they don't even touch on that again.
Well, but see, even when I read it, I didn't think, oh, this is filler, because really at that point in time, it was Bruce doing, detective work, asking, okay, what's scanned me, what's wrong?
Right.
Oh, nothing. No, bullshit, scan again, and tell me everything that's going on. So then the computer finally tells them. And it's, I mean, what I saw there was way too many word bubbles. You're right. They're just kind of making it where, well, we don't want you guys to be bored reading this. There's a lot of good things going on in this book. I was not bored reading this. Actually, I was surprised how quick this went.
I really love this issue. I mean, first off, I think the seller of this entire book, like Brian Ezra, great on the story, but Lee however you say his last fucking name.
Guillermo?
Yeah. Where? What?
I said Guillermo.
Guillermo?
Yeah, it might be right.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Him.
Did you
Lee,
read
art,
Batman Noel?
Amazing. I have not, but I want to read it so bad.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, I should have read that.
Because he draws his Batman the way
great.
he's always drawn Batman. And I've got to play him in the Arkham games.
That Lex Luthor. He did that book of Lex Luthor you got. Luthor.
Yeah, I haven't read that yet either.
And he did Suiciders.
He did the Joker book that came out.
And the covers of Fight Club too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, that art style was incredible. I think, in my opinion, that's like the most functional bat suit that's like not over high tech. It looks so awesome.
His utility belt actually was pouches, like which makes sense.
Right.
I had only one issue with the art, and it was the blood. It looked so animated. It didn't seem as realistic as what it normally as I was expecting. And I know the whole point was to draw that, and maybe that's part of the hallucination is his blood just splurts right out of him. I mean, he got stabbed or shot or beat the shit out of, but it just seemed so much. It didn't seem in the right realm. But now that I say it out loud, it's like, oh, maybe this was part of the hallucination, or just to draw a fact of look at the crap he went through.
You know, and that beginning starts with Batman falling off a bridge. And I was talking to these guys before the show that they're making a reference to the Killing Joke, saying, I remember a joke, and that the punchline was that somebody's falling. And we find out at the end of this issue, we find out that Joker, okay, spoilers, obviously, Joker's dead. Okay, about halfway through the book, we find out Joker's dead.
Do you think that maybe because there was a reference to Killing Joke, and at Killing Joke, the question's always been, does he kill Joker? And then now we don't know who kills Joker. So in a way, it's supposed to be kind of like we don't know if it is the sequel to Killing Joke or not. He's like, I heard a joke one time, and he's trying to remember what happened. He says like sometimes you like wake up somewhere and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and that's what he's kind of doing this whole beginning of this issue. So if he really is, if it is that Batman still, and we find Joker's dead, they said, and he's dead in a place where it looks like there's kind of puddles. It's almost like the same things. So for a while, I was like, is this going to turn out to be a sequel to The Killing Joke?
That'd be crazy.
And
I would love that.
From the alternate, or maybe, if you believe it, the actual reality that he killed him. So like it'd be like, what if he did kill him? And that's what this story is.
Damn. That'd be so amazing. Plus, God, I can't remember if that book started out if it was raining or not.
In this
I don't think
Batman
it was,
Down?
but yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
If it started out in raining,
Here.
then your theory, that's great fucking theory.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
raining.
Oh, dude. Okay. We're on to something here, boys.
Even better now.
But yeah, this is a great book. I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. I think this is a strong issue for DC Black Label to start on. I mean, not so much for the digital peeps, but I'm so excited for issue 2. You know, can't believe we've read a third of the story already. I think the art was fantastic. The story was really great. I mean, it was something fresh, something new. So we've seen Batman put through the ringer before, but it's been a long time.
See the panel with Joker, he's in a pool of water.
Oh, dude.
So
You know who I forgot was in this book was Dead Man.
Yeah.
And he's creepy.
He is creepy. Well, I mean, have you ever read much about Dead Man?
not a pool of water. He's like in a puddle, like if it was raining. Yeah.
Right.
So
Or like they just pulled him out of the river and he had water in his hair.
well, they have a faraway shot before.
But that's how Killing Joke ends. You know, all you see is a puddle, or I guess the river, as they're laughing, and then it's just all you hear is, well, I guess in the movie you only hear.
It is. He did. They pull him out of the river. Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, whatever. It flashes. You don't see obviously if he dies or not.
Threw the body over. Dead Man was great. We have
Constantine.
Constantine
was, I think, like as a narrator, I think it was very like suave and like very, I don't know.
Enchantress was in this.
Yeah, Enchantress. She looked creepy. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, that's who that was.
She like goes back in the past, or like she's in the past, the Batman's past, or Bruce's past. You know what I thought was great about this issue? They very clearly could have went, this is Black Label, do whatever you want. And we had concerns, and Alex had the most concern being like, why are you just going to make it mature for mature's sake? Like I don't need a book that's going to be like super mature just for being mature. And I said, I think it's more just for creative freedom.
Right.
And it's great to have, and this issue, I think, kind of proved that, being like, it wasn't full out like gory. It wasn't full out like, we saw obviously Batman's penis, but it wasn't like full out like sexual, or even the language wasn't like, every panel wasn't like Batman saying like, fuck it, fuck.
Right.
So actually it was what it said it was going to be. It was a book where they just like tell a story with Batman and do whatever you want, minus the penis. But do whatever you want, and we don't care. And instead of the creators being like, oh, that means we can tell like a mature Batman story and like make him something he's not, it's still Batman.
Right.
It's just Batman in a world in which you can be realistic about it. And like you don't have to censor stuff like Batman does, I think, swear in one part. I forgot what he says. I should look it up here.
He says bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit and stuff like that. And it's like that. It's not censored. Obviously, can be more realistic. Like he can take off his clothes and you can see everything rather than cutting it away and stuff like that.
Well, I did read an interview with Brian Azzarello, and he was like, "Yeah, people are constantly asking me, are you going to make Batman kill people just because it's on?" He's like, "No, I'm going to stick to the mythos, but it's kind of like what you said, Marvin. More creative freedom, do whatever I want. Yes, there might be some more mature content, but it's not. I'm not doing it just for that."
Do you guys' issues have ads?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it has ads.
I think you're paying for the right to not have ads. I mean,
53 pages. 53 pages. How's the stock?
Dude, prestige format.
It was like what AD was.
Oh, really? Big like that?
Yeah.
It was big, it was big, but it's not. It doesn't have the like very nice cover though. The paperback cover. It had a nice cover, but it wasn't as nice as the AD cover.
It was like one of those like card stock.
Yeah, like card stock. Yeah,
maybe I should get this in paper.
Dude, I'd get that in print. It looks so good.
And both covers look good. Whether or not you get the A cover where it's kind of that
Joker smile.
Yeah, Joker
Batman
smile with Batman, or you just get Batman in background or red. It's good.
It was a solid 9 for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 9.
I like the art a lot,
and I'm very excited for issue 2, and like
it's so am I. I like that it's big and it's gonna be 3 issues. That really does appeal to me. That we're not gonna get a story direct, like and it's contained. You would know at this point he probably hasn't figured out if it's only 3 issues. And I do like that it comes out every 2 months, so I don't spend like tons of money up front to play. Like I can pay now and then be like, oh, that was good. And then here comes the week of Thanksgiving or the week before Thanksgiving, it comes out. And so, like, I don't know. There's something appealing about that kind of. And we've talked about it for a while. Like, books don't have to come out every month. Mm-hmm. You can make more of a story and then kind of have less issues. And I think that's what it is. Like, This is a change in the format, and that kind of excites me, being like, cool. Like, it feels cool. Mm-hmm. Alex, what do you give it?
9. Like, I agree with you guys. It's good, solid book. Not enough to give a 10, though.
Makes me excited to read those other Black Label books if they follow the same kind of vein of this, being like, hey, we can do whatever we want. We don't have to be super mature just for being mature. And some of the books they announced do sound cool. So I am excited, like Greg Rucka doing the Wonder Woman book.
Frank Miller Superman Year 1. I know you don't like
Superman.
John Romita Jr., but you guys don't.
And then
but if Grant Morrison's doing he's
Scott Snyder's Batman story.
It's Frank Miller, not Grant Morrison.
Oh, really? I misheard you. I was thinking Grant Morrison. I was thinking Hal Jordan.
Even Scott's Batman, which we're over Scott, but if he can do a story, like his story sounds super weird, like Mad Max Batman, I'll try it out. All these kind of alternate universes, it's cool.
Yeah. As long as they're spread out. If they start doing like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would hope that one would end and then they would do another one.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
I have a feeling that won't happen that way, but we can hope. The Immortal Hulk number 6, written by Al Ewing and art by Lee Garbett or Garbe.
So, speaking about the art right away, not as good as Joe Bennett.
No.
Very much missing that artist. Still wasn't decent art. I mean, I think this guy is really good at showing that kind of like baboon Hulk face.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty terrifying with the eyes and stuff. But I think his humans, not good.
No.
Short and blocky and like...
So that Joe Bennett art was so good. He had a good way of expressing faces. Like that first issue, the fear in that kid's face before Hulk gets to him. Hulk's face in general is always scary.
Right.
There's just... I don't know. It didn't leave a bad taste. It was still a good issue. But we can finally get into more of a plot.
Yeah, the mythos this issue is... I think we took a step forward where the art took a step backward. At the end of last issue, somehow, that I'm still not getting the juju.
Yeah.
Sorry, but Hulk's dad, who, if you remember the old Ang Lee Hulk movie for your origin taste, I guess, which is still awful.
Is that what, the Eric Bana one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So his dad was very heavily involved with him becoming the Hulk, which I'm still that might be a I don't know. I've never read Hulk's like fleshed out comic origin. I've read his like 1950s or 60s one, but not like about his parents or anything.
Yeah.
And his dad is like someone that used to like abuse him and traumatize him and like makes him, I don't know, some kind of subplot, but he somehow is in Sasquatch because of the gamma radiation.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like, ooh, this is not what I thought. But his dad is terrifying. They do flashbacks to that last issue and like establish that he's not a cool dude. And then this issue, Sasquatch is no more. Hulk has this new ability, this new power to drain gamma for anybody that has gamma radiation.
I thought he had that ability. I mean, in this
But that's not the first time I've seen it.
okay. Well, but I thought it was. I mean, it happened last issue when he sucked it out of
Right,
okay.
Sasquatch.
So, is it a new power altogether that we have adopted for this ongoing series?
It
or
might
is
be
something
one that
he's-
only you and I have seen for the first time.
Okay.
It might be one that's been established before.
Well,
I don't know.
let's ask the Hulk expert. Hey, has Hulk always been able to absorb gamma radiation from other people?
Yeah.
Marvin shakes his head yes.
Okay. That's cool. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen him use it. He's always Hulk smash. So
And you can see like when people get a taste of that gamma radiation,
I think it was an old thing. Not recently.
Just like the night.
I
is
see what you're
kind of a
saying.
new
Like
thing.
the night that
Yeah.
Hulk comes out at night.
And they with Sasquatch, they always have a taste of like the gamma. And they're like, oh, I still want that. I didn't want that taken away.
It's like Bane and his Venom.
Right.
They got this taste of power. Now they want to keep it.
But Hulk absorbs his father's gamma essence. God, see, I just don't. That part kind of like is like, why I don't like this.
Yeah, because it seems weird that Sasquatch was quote unquote possessed from the father, and now it got transferred over to the Hulk.
Right.
But it's still in just. And then the way that Bruce is having a conversation, and it's only a single word that the Hulk writes. So Bruce closes his eyes and just lets the Hulk write with his hand, home.
Well-
I get it. I mean, I understand it, but
But then we turn to my favorite part of this issue, and it's something not to do with Hulk. Like Betty is in this issue.
yeah.
Like I've been like, you guys got to touch on Betty. She hasn't been around forever, and like I forgot that they've been married, and she was like, I thought my husband was dead. Blah blah blah. I'm just like, hey Bruce, asshole, like go see your wife, man. She thought you got shot in the head or something, But he's probably not seeing her to protect her and all that. Oh, I guess they're all on camera.
They're watching her, so he's
all
not
the
doing a
gamma
very good
radiated
job.
people are being watched right now. So he probably knows that and is like, whoa,
Yeah.
gotta watch out for that.
Who's the person in the container? Is that the ghost, the radiation ghost that?
I don't know.
I don't remember what his name was.
I don't think there's a reveal yet.
Okay. Because they're doing something in this lab, and I maybe that's the thing that's kind of exciting for this book is I'm not normally a big Hulk fan other than Hulk Smash. I don't know who half these characters are. I do know who Betty is.
Yeah.
But it's like who are some of these people? Who are some of these bad guys that we're getting into this lab?
I think they're new.
And maybe they're new.
And like, they kind of explain that second lieutenant of Thunderbolt Ross is the leader of that, is it Shadowgate or whatever they call it, or Shadow Squadron, or
Yeah.
because
He's the boss of their boss, right?
well, Ross is the actual boss.
Yep.
But this guy serves under him.
Yep.
But he's basically what Mama don't know won't hurt her, kind of that kind of guy. So he's taking over the Hulk operation and that's cool that they were like plugging Captain America in this book, being like, hey, if you want to know what Ross is up to, he's over in Captain America. That was pretty sweet. But this book basically ends with Carol Danvers coming up to him and being like, hey, we didn't know you were alive, bud. How come you didn't come find us? And then he's like, because it didn't concern you. And then next panel, here come the entire Avengers. And what was Tony say something? He's like, hey, man, where you been? I don't know, some kind of quippy one-liner. And so the next issue is going to be about the Avengers versus
Getting
the
the shit
Hulk.
kicked out of him.
Yeah. So I am excited for that because I think that's one of the biggest things since he's been back is like, how do the Avengers not like reach out to him and be like, hey, that's my friend, that's my buddy. Why don't I go get him or like go see what's going on?
I think that is the one thing that kind of impresses me is that you would think that Tony Stark would be attuned to everything going on in the world just to keep tabs on stuff, I realized Reed Richards isn't back quite yet, that he isn't watching everything. But don't you think someone would have gone, hey, Bruce is back. Maybe we should go, see what's up before he gets out and about. I realize we're, restarting, we're getting refreshed, so things are a little different. We're not following the continuity that's been laid out for us. We're just excited that Bruce is back.
Yeah.
But I'm also a little weary of the Hulk going up against these Avengers. Not that anyone's going to die. I realize that's not how it's going to go down. He'll probably escape. And I've seen the Punisher fight the Avengers. It's not a big deal. But and not that it's too soon. I mean, I realize at some point in time they had to meet.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what Al decides to do
with this. Yeah, I think it's basically, you can't have the Hulk doing these Hulk-like things and the Avengers just being like, we'll
whatever.
ignore it. It's Bruce. So they got to handle this subject. I'm sure something's going to happen where they'll come to an understanding like, hey, Hulk's got to do this as long as he's not killing people, killing people that don't deserve it, I guess.
I don't know. He broke that kid's bones in that first issue. That was almost worse than killing since he broke everything.
But that was that was his flashback, wasn't it?
No, I thought that was his first time coming out. Or was it a flashback?
When what?
It wasn't a flashback. It was that night.
That he killed somebody?
No, he
that
broke
was
all his
breaking
bones.
that kid's bones. That drug kid who killed that little girl
Oh,
in the first
yeah.
He doesn't kill him. He just breaks his bones.
Don't worry, he'll walk.
issue. Nice.
That was the dumbest laugh I just made.
Yeah, but that was a good joke.
But I give it an 8. I did enjoy it. I think there's a lot more mythology, and I am excited to see what happens next issue. I'm just worried about how it's going to be handled. But I trust Al Ewing to do it the right way.
The one thing that I was curious is Jen Walters is what, his cousin?
Yep.
Okay, so she's pissed at Bruce for dying, and
because that caused her emotional turmoil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she was she the one who was supposed to kill him, or she was mad at Bruce for making Clint kill him. How could you make my friend kill you,
right,
and make that guilt on him?
Right.
So she okay.
Yep.
So that makes me excited that there's even that little bit more personal grudge.
Right.
That how could you be that or that selfish?
And I thought that line where Bruce was like, "Oh, feeling a little green there, Jen," and I was like, "Ooh, dick! Like you're she has a fear problem now, and you caused that, so that's pretty crazy." All right, next book we got is just had my Black Badge #2, written by Matt Kint with art by Tyler Jenkins. So at the end of the last issue, guys board a train or they get near a train, starts on the train. Meet up with the Canadian Boy Scouts, which are called the
Youth Mounties?
Yeah.
The
Young Mounties?
It was something Mounties.
Something mounting still Overlook.
The Overwatch?
Overwatch. The mountains Overwatch, yeah.
No, I think they were the Youth Mounties.
I think they were the Youth Mounties until they figured out that they were Overwatchers.
Yeah. So basically, they're the backup for the Boy Scouts.
Oh, I thought they were the auditors.
They're the auditors. Yeah.
They came to see if you guys are doing things the right way.
They're internal affairs.
How come they were working together?
No,
they were.
In the end, they were kind of working together.
They basically were. So Jimmy, what's his name? Jimmy.
Yeah, the one that died was Jimmy.
Jimmy died, and they won't. The new kid is like, "What do you mean Jimmy died? How did he die?" And they won't tell him. And so these guys were brought in from the government, whoever was assigned to do these jobs, to be like, look and see if anything's going down here. That it was Jimmy their fault, be the internal affairs, and that's why they were with him on the mission.
Oh, gotcha.
To make sure they're not going rogue and doing shit they're not supposed to be doing.
Well, Kenny the leader proves time and time again that he does kind of go off the rails. He doesn't do things conventionally.
Yeah.
At the end, this issue didn't have a lot going on because it literally was from the train that they worked with the the Canadians, the Mounties, and ditched the train, blew it up, and they thought they killed a lot of people. To them coming upon this prison because I guess their objective is to
so they're in Siberia.
break out somebody. Yeah.
That's right. They're going to the prison to break out one single guy, and Kenny gives the Canadian Mountie leader this bag of chips to give to the guy in the prison.
Right.
So prisoner opens this bag. He goes, "Cheaps that are hard to come by." Opens up and there's a handgun in it, and the
Was it chips or peeps?
Cheaps. They're chips.
Or chips?
There's chips.
Really? I thought it was peeps.
No, there's CHEEPS.
I don't
Oh,
know.
You
okay.
can't say chips. He's calling them cheaps.
Oh,
Or they're peeps with chips. Chip peeps.
Whatever. A bag of some kind of eating
Doritos
substance.
has a new Easter candy.
You know it.
The art's fantastic. Color. I like the style.
Yep.
It's not fully defined lines. It's kind of like almost like oil coloring.
Yeah.
So it looks great. The colors look great. And is it Charlene doing the colors still, or is it Tyler doing his own colors?
I thought
No,
he
it's
was doing
Tyler
his own
doing his own
colors.
colors.
I like the story. I mean, nothing much happens like Garrett was saying, but I do like it's more like a study on like you not fully trusting these guys, especially Kenny, being like maybe they did do something and maybe they are dangerous and maybe these guys need to be involved. But also at the end when they say, he goes, "Hey, I thought we were here to get out one guy. What are we doing?" And he's like, "I'm just an overachiever." And you see the whole prison yard is
Right.
Prison Riot.
yeah, so it's another fun issue. I mean, the story itself, like it can be one issues like this, one-offs, like where they do missions and like story happens along the way. So I actually do feel like it was as fun as the first issue.
Yeah.
Like the art was great
A
and
lot more character development, I'd say, because we're learning more about like
Mitz is the best. When they get attacked by that tiger.
I was going to ask you about this. So where they're at, what are tigers are there?
Yeah. So
Siberia.
they're in Russia.
They're in Russia, so
tiger?
Siberian tiger.
Yep.
And then there was a wolf.
No, it was their dog.
Oh,
I
yeah,
believe
that's
it was
right.
a husky that the
It
Canadians brought
attacked
with them.
the tiger, and then he shot him in the ass with
An arrow.
a sedative arrow.
As a self-healing arrow where the shaft will break off and seal up that wound. Tiger will be better off in the morning.
I kind of wanted to see that arrow in
Me
action.
too.
Though. I was like, that's a fucking cool arrow. So I know you guys were 20 when this came out, but when they did that, when Mitz was doing that Pippi Longstocking origin, like I laughed because I was like, dude, I remember watching Pippi Longstocking as a kid.
Oh, yeah,
I
you're right.
don't-
I actually was 20.
I don't remember what's Pippi Longstocking.
Oh my God, go die.
She's got orange hair and big long
Freckles.
socks.
She's an orphan that used to be an adventurer, came back to live with some domestic
I never
people.
saw that origin story, so I don't know.
Jeez.
Don't worry, you'll see in Captain Marvel.
It was still fun, like I said, but in the issue is you can tell that these two are good at what they do, the Tyler and Matt. So it never felt like it was frivolous. It never felt like an issue being like nothing happens in this issue. It felt like this issue meant something for especially for these characters. And the art was great. The way the story's told, like by reading this issue, I felt satisfied being like, oh, cool. Like I want to read more of this. I'm interested to see, and we get little glimpses of like the, his little arrow story. And he's like, yes, like Pippi Longstocking. Kenny, did Jimmy really, like, did they cause Jimmy's death? What is, and then you meet another organization like these Mounties, and you're like, oh, how many of these are there? So, like, it opens up the world a little bit, brings some more questions in, and it makes me intrigued for, like, more of these issues.
What's the skeptic's name? What's the new kid's name? Oh, with the hat.
The bigger guy,
Yeah. Whatever.
Fat Pat.
Sure.
I don't remember what his name is.
But
I can look it up
I like learning things from his perspective because like it's kind of like where we would insert ourselves, be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like trying to get this damn black badge, and you guys are in my way, and I don't understand what's going on.
But he
And,
still doesn't realize they are the black badge.
right, exactly. But I give this issue an 8. I think it wasn't quite a 9 for me. I think there's just a little more. I just kind of want to know more of the purpose of this book. But I get that they're a Boy Scout Black Ops team, basically. But
I think it would have been a 9 if the ending didn't seem so rushed. I think for some reason they got to the prison, it got lit on fire. Here's your gun, and that was the end. And maybe that was. I realize that's the point of this issue, was there wasn't going to be this clean cut ending. They weren't just saving the one person. They were just going to let the prison do its own thing. But we get to the end of it, it's like, oh, that's okay. That was quick.
or maybe to know at least 5% why they're freeing this one prisoner.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing too. Is
They
I'm
don't have
not,
to tell me everything, but I just want to know a little bit.
and maybe maybe they don't even know.
That's
maybe
true.
they were told, hey,
Scout
here's your-
Overwatch is what they were called.
Scout Overwatch. Cool.
Maybe that was the point.
Cliff? Is that the
I
kid's
don't
name?
think so.
Could be.
Cliff was the other one. It's Cliff, Mitz, and Kenny.
So Cliff's the one with the staff.
Cliff is the staff. He's the one that was in second in command normally,
Right.
and then decided to take the leader job this one when Kenny wasn't doing what he was supposed to do.
Right.
I don't know if they ever say the other kid's name in this one.
I don't think they say it in this one. I know they say it in the first
I
issue.
don't see it
He's the
anywhere.
black badge. Dot, dot,
Holy crap.
I give it an 8 too. It was good.
Yeah,
Solid.
it's an 8.
Solid. Nothing blew my mind, but it's definitely a definition of like great comics. So
I thought that tiger looked really good, though.
here we go. Batman number 55. Oh, wrong. Wildstorm number 17. Oh, wrong. Mr. Miracle number 11. This is Tom King and Mitch Gerads, the penultimate issue of Mr. Miracle. In the issue in which he is going to give up his son for Darkseid to end the war, and that's how the issue starts. Him and Barda are in front of Darkseid, said, "Here's the kid," and they go, "You fucking around?" And Darkseid said that. Well, first, no, we get a party first. What's the kid's name?
Jakey?
Jakey.
It's
Jacob.
Jack.
Jacob is his name.
Jakey.
No, it's Jakey.
They call him Jakey in this
Yeah,
book.
his name is Jacob.
Oh, I thought it was Jack.
No.
Jacob Free.
Because they
Jacob.
call him Jack Free before.
Well, they don't know what they name their kid. 'cause they
Jacob.
called him-
His name is Jacob. Jacob. They have his birthday party. Darkseid. We know he's evil, so he double dips. They show him double. That's for me.
You know, the weird
that
thing-
9 panels of Darkseid eating carrots was I died
For me,
in silence.
that's the worst thing I've seen him ever do. So I don't know. Double dips. We have the birthday party, and then they go to give away their son in front of Darkseid. He's like, "Hey, you fucking around?" He's like, "No, we're not."
No, not Darkseid. Desaad is. Darkseid is silent until literally halfway through. Desaad's talking the whole time.
Oh, so they give the kid to Darkseid. He pulls out his eye and say, "Okay, deal's done. Without this, I have ammunition, but I don't have the gun to do this. I'll pull away all the of my soldiers."
You can't do the, what is it called, the Omega sanction? Or Omega...
the
Omega beams.
Anti-life
beams.
equation
Yeah,
cannot be
anti-life
shot
equation.
without the Omega beams.
Right.
And so he's like, "Here you go," and she crushes it and go, "Okay, that's our guarantee that you can't start a war or like at least win a war anymore. Like you wouldn't want to start a war without this because you have no guarantee win." And then Miss Miracle, Scott, is like, "I just want to say goodbye one more time." And what's the guy's name?
Desaad.
Desaad looks at Darkseid and Darkseid's like, for a second, he's like, "Okay." And they use that opportunity to try to sneak attack Darkseid with the what's the beam that they use?
I don't know. Fucking green
Super
beam
Mr. Miracle
thing.
Beam. It looked like they lifted up and I realized they just lifted up the stroller and then
It was on the bottom
laser
of the stroller.
beamed him.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
Barda was super confident that it was going to wipe out Darkseid.
Nothing can stop this.
didn't.
No one is more powerful than
She's
this.
like,
we can't even survive this.
yeah.
Well, I find it funny that when they got there, she's like, "I had to check for weapons." She's like, "All I got diapers in a stroller." She goes, "Oh, you go, right? That's cool." That's where they hid the gun, and it is the here it is over here. Sorry,
But we find out that that's not even the most powerful weapon.
Right. Well, the weapon that...
Miracle Machine.
Okay, Miracle Machine. But the weapon that Mr. Miracle got several issues ago, the knife from Orion, is the actual murder weapon to kill... Oh, sorry. I skipped ahead. But to kill
No,
Darkseid...
They had that knife before from when she was giving birth that the Furies gave to her.
Right.
Evil
And
gremlins.
that's where they got the idea to make one out of Orion's body, and then
Right.
they one out of his body.
And it's justice because Orion is Highfather's son, and
no other way.
what?
Orion is actually Darkseid's son, and he was given to Highfather. Scott
Okay.
is Highfather's actual son. He's given to Darkseid.
Given to Darkseid. Got it.
And so,
Oh, really?
Yeah, they traded sons.
Okay.
so they both get knocked down, get beat the shit out of, and
I get knocked down, but I get up again. That's immediately what popped into my head.
so when he's about to give away Jacob to Darkseid before he gets into him, he does a speech, and you better fucking believe if I wasn't halfway crying.
How good it wasn't just me.
And then when I thought that they were like, we're gonna die, I thought, how dark this fucking book gonna get? And that he's crying for his dad. You better believe my ass wasn't fucking crying then too.
Of course.
I think the hardest part is Darkseid breaks through the Miracle Machine and punches Barda in the face, and I thought he killed her.
yeah, same. I thought
Yeah.
that first too.
And then you watch Mr. Miracle is trying to protect Jake from getting hit in the face, and so he's just getting pummeled in the face consistently. And I thought that, so as you watch Darkseid is walking over, I thought he was going to crush his head. And I thought, and like you said, how dark can this book get? And I immediately, in my head, I'm having this dad moment of, if that were me on the ground, I'd be getting up and stabbing him in the face. My dreams came true.
Yeah.
He stabbed him in the face, and it was
Fuck
great.
you, fuck you, fuck you,
Kills
fuck you,
him.
fuck you.
And then she goes, "What happened? I thought we were going to say you can't escape this." And he goes, "I got a little bit into it." And then at the end, we learned that that is not, what was his name?
Desaad.
Desaad.
Dude, it's Desaad, Granny Goodness, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is. He wasn't in this
But
one.
it actually turns out to be
It's Metron.
Metron, and he sits in his chair
Who's Metron? Oh, he's the
from Justice League. That
chair sitter.
yeah.
Yep.
Don't you remember Batman sat there and he's like, "Who's the Joker?"
Yep.
And they're like, "There's 3 of them." So Metron says,
There's 3 of them.
Metron says, "Scott, this is not your world, and I think you know it." And he starts showing and they show that 2-page splash of like
All the DC
DC
heroes.
people, and says they kind of lead into like maybe seeing like if we finally answer the question. I think this was something like that. Let me read what it says. Let me get to the end here. By the way, there is no better thing on digital than these 9-page panels because it fills. If I go zoom in, it's full page, baby. I don't get the, but there actually is. You know what's great? I know people have been saying for a long time, being like, between
Yeah.
panels on digital. So on digital, right, or on comic panels, between panels, sometimes they're mostly the same. The panels, right, and they something a little bit changes. And I know people complain, being like, "You're wasting my time by making basically the same panel twice." But when you read it digitally, it's almost like animation, the way it kind of moves. Which actually, like for me, when I was reading, I was just like, "Well, the subtle changes kind of it's kind of like animation."
Oh, did you see Mr. Miracle's dick on that issue?
I wish. Here's what he says. He
would
says,
dick you right in the
"You
heart."
challenged the unchallenged. You dared the trap of death, and you escaped. And now it is time, my son, time to look into the face of God and hear your cheers and take your bow. Where you are not where you should be scot-free. There is another world." And then we get a 2-page splash. And then we get the thing where it says, "If a mastermind could entrap Mr. Miracle, you'll think it is well nigh impossible. Well, you are wrong. It's easy. See how it's done in the complete next issue." By the way, also, I don't know if you guys noticed this joke. Remember, she was like, when he said, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," and she goes, "Great, now his first word's you can't swear in front of him. His first word's going to be fuck." He goes, "No, it's not. And he's going to remember that." His first word is fuck.
Yeah, right.
At the end, he says fuck at the end. After when he shows up, he's like, "Oh fuck." Jacobs was like, "Fuck."
Now, like,
Oh god.
now I know for sure that I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen next issue.
So
Like,
here's
no
what I
clue.
think. Here's what I think. Judging from, so Tom King, we know, has said that this book and Batman lead to Heroes in Crisis. We've seen Mr. Miracle on that cover. I think that Metron, basically, so Scott tried to kill himself. We saw it in the first issue. And there was a question asked whether or not Scott is more like the dark side or is he more like Highfather? Because remember at the beginning of the first couple issues, he sees Bart and he's like, "Was your hair what's that color? I thought you had a different color." And he talked about in like the first couple issues, the reason why he's trying to kill himself is because they're having issues and they're not together anymore. And he's depressed. And then he's kind
It's
of,
all been a dream.
and then it all comes back and they like get back together and like we have that date issue, right? And he's like, "Man, this is great. We're back together." And then they have a kid. He's like finally happy for the first time. This whole issue's been, he's finally happy for the first time. I think he's gonna find out that this was done to see if Scott would ever give up his kid, just like he was giving up. And we're gonna see it's gonna be all revealed to be like you and Barter aren't together. Like it's gonna go back to actual reality.
fudge.
You don't have a kid, so the things that made you happy do not exist. This has just been a kind of simulation to see if you would give up your kid, and then he's gonna be suicidal again, and he'll go to Heroes in Crisis to try to recover from like what happened to him in this. Booster Gold's going to be there. He's going to be there. Batman's going to be there. All these heroes are getting fucked up by Tom King are going to be there. And I think that's what's going to happen. Because like this whole series has been about him reconnecting with Bart and then them having a kid together and him finding a reason to live again.
Yeah.
And now if that's all taken away again, how do you escape that depression? That's what it's going to be about.
Who would bring him to Heroes in Crisis? Who would bring him there? Who
That's
would
what I got
pick
the whole
him-
last issue for, bud.
But like, what character would literally pick him up? I guess Orion's
Metron.
not dead.
Didn't also remember that his friend was
Is
his
Metron
friend's
his
name?
friend?
I don't think he's his friend, but still, he'd
Maybe
probably drive-
Orion. Maybe
if-
Orion's still alive.
If
Let's say
Metron,
if this is a whole big imaginary
I think
thing.
Orion's on that cover too.
maybe Ryan's still alive, and that's what he's going to bring him.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find
Dude,
out.
I wish my book that I was doing next was right after yours because I get to segue right into it. But I'll wait.
Nope, I'll ruin it with my book.
Oh, wait. First off, 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
God, it was so good. And like I said, tears all around.
I wish that book was ongoing. I get that it's not, but God, I just would love to see that. I know Mitch Gerads is going to work with Tom King on Batman coming up here in the future.
Oh, really? Cool.
For at least an arc. That'll be fun, but I would really wish these two were on a book consistently.
Did you get cover A with Darkseid?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would explain, like, remember the whole series, they've had these, like, kind of pixelating. It would explain if it's a simulation. Obviously, it's pixelating
Yep.
because it can't keep full picture.
Can't keep up.
So I would think that it's not real. And he's going to learn that it's not real, and that's going to make him more depressed. But obviously, Metron was asked a question, and he had to run a simulation to see what would happen, to be like, yep, I guess he wouldn't give up his
But
kid.
if it's ran out of Metron, maybe since Darkseid
But who
maybe
asked Metron the
terrifies
question?
him,
Did he ask Metron the question? Who asked Metron the question?
maybe
Barda.
Barda.
Barda did. And maybe that's why she broke it off with him, because she thought that he wouldn't be that great of a father. Now she finds out that he would. And then maybe she'll bring him there to Heroes in Crisis. Be like,
Look what I did. I broke him.
I fucked him up. Yeah, so bring him in. Yeah. Yeah, good book. $10. $10. $10.
I fucked him up.
And then in that book, Batman still kills, babies. You remember that? Batman
it.
kills.
The pup.
You can't put the baby in the crib.
I know.
Or the suffocate.
I thought about that when they picked it up. So you know what we got this week? We got a Return of Wolverine, #1 of what, 5 or 6?
I think it's 5.
5. Okay.
I just want to say something, and then you guys can review this book.
I was gonna say it's by Charles Soule and Stephen
Sorry.
McNiven.
Go ahead.
Fucker. Let me at least finish my thought. Fuck.
I was too busy opening that, so
Okay.
I missed it. I was gonna say.
Oh yes.
I thought the art was good. I started reading this book, and I got maybe like 5, 7, 10 pages in. I don't even remember. And I stopped reading it. I just was so uninterested in any of the story. It was so like convoluted what I was trying to read. I was like, what is fucking going on? And like the first couple of pages were okay and great. And I was like, here we go. Return to Wolverine is going to be action-packed kind of story. That's what it's going to be, like an action story. Then I hear the stuff about Persepolis and all this bullshit. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, so we got to break this down. This was not what anybody wanted for the Return of Wolverine.
The first 2 pages was what I was expecting it to be. Him coming, him waking up from whatever it was,
Right.
claws on fire, and they hurt. So he puts his hands down, there's blood, and blood is everywhere, and it sizzles. I thought that was the start of this excitement.
Of him getting out of that
Of him getting out of-
adamantium shell.
Wherever
Absolutely.
we were at, and then we get into this who gives a shit story.
Well, I know it's like we're in a fever dream because he's in a location that we've never seen before. Because
Alcoa
the last time we saw his statue, it was in that house on the top of the fucking hill.
Yep.
So doesn't wake it up there. Then he wakes up in the middle of some territory war that nobody cares about 2 different factions. And one lady's like, oh, they're trying to kill us. They're making us slaves. Like, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Wolverine. Okay, best part about this whole book, the art. The art was amazing. Steve McNiven's art, so good. But the story was just so bad. It was cool to see Wolverine in his original suit. I hate his new suit. Don't even think it looks
That
cool.
black one?
Yeah.
That's his new suit?
That's his new
ridiculous.
suit. Looks dumb.
That looks horrible.
The only thing I missed was that. What, am I not right?
No, I stopped reading before we got there. I want to see.
So his new suit is just black with red.
It's like Luke Skywalker's outfit, but you put Wolverine in it. Yeah, this had so much potential. I mean, not to even reconnect with the X-Men. Like, I get it's a Wolverine story. He's also during this going through this like journey, meeting his previous incarnations of Wolverines. I did the one
Wait a
part.
second. Is this it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Wait. No, it looks a little.
that
different
doesn't
than
even look right.
It says Return of Wolverine Black Costume Final.
That's how it looks, but that's not the. Is that
It's not
Steve
the art
McNiven?
style. No.
Yeah, no. You'll see it.
This here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's actually not too bad. That looks like Ronin outfit.
I hate
The
that.
one
Looks
that
dumb.
we saw at the end of this, maybe just it didn't look right.
No. Well, and he's like, yes, he's got his ferocious Wolverine hair, and you don't see that in there.
Yeah.
It looks more clean cut.
They
But
tamed him.
I don't know. I think it was cool to see a young version, and I was glad that they did one panel where he got like cut and it like healed right away. I was like, thank God we don't have to wait like 6 issues for that one cut to heal up. Like that was getting old. But I am going to keep getting this series because like I don't know. I definitely got to look at the preview for the next one. But I'm just like, what a lackluster way. Why is it ever enjoyable to confuse your fans about the coming back of one of your favorite characters? Like, there's no mystery that I'm trying to solve other than scratching my head being like, this doesn't make any fucking sense why we're at this point when he comes back.
See, my startup would have been the like 3 or 4 of his big baddies would have shown up. That's kind of what I wanted it to be, where they had found, because I haven't been reading any of the Hunt for Wolverine, the Search for Adamantium, the whatever those 17 different 4-issue runs were. I wanted, because you see Omega Red's there.
Right.
So when Wolverine's riding his motorcycle and going straight towards this assassin keeps shooting at him. Well, apparently he's a horrible sniper. And Wolverine uses his machine gun, knocks him over, and you get to see Omega Red's tentacles come out and grab his gun.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why would you put Omega Red in there if you're not going to actually have them meet? They had a little gun battle. No one got hurt.
I'm sure he'll come back.
I know, but it just there's things that I expect. It's kind of like when we went to see Logan. The big bad guy shouldn't have been Wolverine. It should have been bring Omega Red in, or bring Sabretooth, or bring some of these other big guys in.
Yeah.
Let it be. Okay, look how strong they are. They think that Logan's still weak because he's been dead for 4 years. He's probably a little tired.
Exactly.
And so why wouldn't they come going, you know what? Let's kill the little puny pipsqueak. And then he beats the shit out of all of them. Because you get to see the little Wolverine versus Sabretooth when he fights the animal, and then the animal gets ran over by a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot of problems with this book.
I will get this book. This is kind of like Garrett's Superman. I have to get this. I need to.
Yeah.
I want my young man Wolverine back.
But I don't know why. I just don't get the story approach ever, where you confuse people just to
make
have
it
a
worse?
mystery later.
Oh, sorry. Does it make
Go
it
ahead.
worse? That's $6.
Is each issue $6? God, I hope not.
Let me look. But even the first issue, it's only 34 pages. Yeah. We just literally bought. Wasn't Batman Damned same $6?
Yeah.
It's 7. It's $6.99.
$7, but it's 53 pages. No ads. You get 34
Prestige
pages.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get a thick cardboard cover, I guess.
I guess coming out the same week as that book, it made me realize.
That's what Marvel's new number
what's
one
this?
deal is. They do $5.99 for all their new number ones.
There's more pages. For me, at least, I don't know. Was the quality of the cover any
The
different?
cover was nice, but then it was paper pages just like always inside.
And then when we open it up, it was like, which is fine. Then for me, like I got it digitally, so for me, it's like, okay, I'm literally playing just for the story. And I open it up and I start reading, and I get like a 10 pages in. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Boring. It's not.
It's
fun.
so boring, which
Yeah.
surprised me because the Death Wolverine was so good.
It was.
Did
I
you
remember
get
liking
that?
it. Yeah,
Was that Charles Soule or was that Mark
Charles.
Miller?
It's the same
Charles
team.
Soule and McNiven.
Yeah,
And that's what amazes me, that 4 years ago, this team came together to kill off the Wolverine. And it's like, wow, you guys did actually a pretty decent job. And it made sense on how they killed him. Now we're getting back to, he should be hitting the ground running.
Right.
And almost be berserker rage. He should be so pissed at what's going on. He's confused. He's not sure where he's at. He's not sure who he is. He's getting these like premonitions of, am I a hero? But I was a killer. But I was this. I'm suave.
Oh, but you let me out first.
Yeah.
Like, I think the plot should have been, okay, what were they established in the last 2 years? At Weapon H, they were trying to take Wolverines and harvest their adamantium, their mutant gene, to make other baddies. Okay, they should have been hunting Wolverine, and then he should have been running for his life because they have those whatevers, those little adamantium fuckers, the robots.
Oh,
The T-800s.
the Reavers?
Yeah, the Reavers. It should have been a Wolverine story. This was Wolverine thrown into turf war that nobody cares about.
this is Wolverine being being thrown into being a hero when he's not always a hero. He's supposed to be that guy that does what needs to be done.
It should be about finding himself again.
And
He has amnesia.
And if they're making all these clones, why wouldn't they make the other Wolverine clones? So you make the brown and orange suit, you make the Weapon X suit, the X Force, and have him fight these in whatever suit whatever our new Wolverine suit is. the black with red, or I'm sorry, I still want the yellow and blue.
Yeah, yellow and blue looks so good.
Because when they even tell you the story of why does he wear the yellow and blue? To distract you. You're only shooting at him.
That part I didn't like. They said, "Oh, this story is about why you started wearing that yellow and blue," and he shows up wearing the yellow and blue.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not why. He's fucking wearing yellow and blue.
I was on a jog and this guy shot at me.
So I don't know if you got this far, Marvin. Like,
I didn't get that far.
This lady was like, "Hey, I'm going to tell you a story, and it's the story of why you wear the yellow and blue." And that's basically like the whole mythology, like where Batman wears the yellow symbol, so they'll shoot at the yellow symbol. It's the same concept. He wears yellow and blue, so targets go for him first. And I'm like, that's not why he does it. That doesn't make sense. He was wearing it. He wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wear these colors and test out if they'll go for me first. Like, what?
I would have shot you to begin with. You had these metal claws coming at me.
Because Steve McNiven's art was so good, I'm giving this book a 6. It would have been way less if it was a bad artist.
If Charles Soule and, like you said, a weak artist, this would have been a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
This was not a good story.
No, this was not a good start. And it's a shame because like we've really missed this character, and he looked great, but just the story was just god awful.
1. If I can't finish a book,
Yeah, that's not good.
literally was like reading and was like bored out of my mind. And you know what I said? I said to myself, "You don't have to read it," and I stopped reading. I was like, and I'm not going to get any more. There are $3.99. The rest of them are.
Oh, good. At least
there's that.
Until you get to the last issue, $12.99.
That's true. The last issue is not solicited yet, so I'm not sure how much the last one is. But all the rest of them are.
End of the return of Wolverine.
Into Old Man Die Wolverine. What's it?
Old man versus young man.
Before we get to the last review, I forgot about this. We could have done this during free talk, but it actually does bring up a good point right now where we're talking about our ratings for this book. And if it's not good, Sarge has something to say about our ratings, and I just wanted to play it. How loud is this going to be?
Is this going to be... Are we...
Sergeant America coming at you. Boom! What is this bull honky of a rating system that you guys have? It's horrible. I'm going to give it a 6 or a 7. I'm never going to pick this book up. I'm going to give it an 8. I love it. It's an 8.5, 9. Best thing ever. It's 8 3/4. I need you guys to justify the numbers you are putting out there. If it is not good, if you're not picking it up, if you're not liking it, remember, if you're doing a 10-point system, 5 is the middle. A little bit okay, that's a 6. Not going to pick it up again, that's like a 4 or 3. It was the worst thing I've ever read, that's a 1. Maybe a 0 if you want to put it on that scale. But I have to tell you guys, you can't keep going from between like 6 3/8 to 9 12/4. That is the worst thing ever. I need you guys this next episode to justify your scale. Justify it. So, Sergeant America, signing out. Shitballs. Tell Garrett to stop using all my lines.
All right. Here's what I'm going to say about that.
Yes.
Okay. So 5 is a book was average. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible.
I think we've had this conversation
We
before,
have.
because
If it's less than...
For me, when I've said 5 before and you guys are like, whoa, and I'm like, well, it's like I would never read it again, but it's not horrible.
If it's less than 5, we're probably not getting the next issue. And I know me and Alex, we give books a lot of chances. Marvin?
Adios.
That guy...
I didn't give that book 10 pages.
That guy
you cut books before you're halfway
will
through
live
it.
on the bottom half of that ranking system forever.
I read 10 pages and I was like, you're cut, baby.
6 means that we like something about the book, but the rest was shit. 7, it's good. 8, it's
better.
great, but it's not the best story I've ever read. 9, it's like, this is pretty close to the best story I've ever read, but there's some issues.
You guys rank on the American education system.
A, B, C, D.
I'm just saying,
F.
like
solid. I'm
60% and below is failing for you guys.
Okay. You know what?
I don't care about that
Sarge? this book we're going to talk about last, I will use the A through F for you.
But I do think we have had that conversation before, and like I do see merit to a 5. Like a 5 is still like, hey, if
it's par.
if I read it, it's not that bad, but I would never buy it. That's what a 5 is.
Or we could do golf terms, so par is 5.
Oh,
a 6 is
Racing.
like
Isn't par 3?
I could see somebody liking a 6.
Par
like,
is whatever it makes
I
even
guess
with the
whatever.
whole.
Like this issue here, I did see a lot of positive comments for this from people who like users who bought it. but I did not see good reviews for it.
Or did they add better
what, Wolverine?
content to the digital issue? Because
Return
the
to
print
Wolverine.
issue sucked.
So I think
Wolverine
that is a 6. If like fans like it, but it's not getting good critical reviews, that's a 6. And I think that's what this felt like to me, though. 1 shit. I mean, well, I didn't like it. I was 10 pages in, I was bored. And also doesn't help that like that character, to me at least, I know Alex, you love Wolverine. For me, it's not a character that I have to get. So I didn't want to get the benefit of that. I'm just like, whatever.
Anywho's, moving on. Black Hammer, Age of Doom, Age of Doom. Age of Doom. Number 5, written by Jeff Lemire with art by Dean Ormstrom.
Wait a second. We're supposed to read Age of Doom number 5. I read Black Hammer number 5 again.
Same
Sucks
thing.
to suck, man. That's not the same thing.
Age of Doom?
But Black Hammer for number 5, Black Hammer, Age of Doom number 5
Oh, I see.
are not the same thing.
I read an
I
old
think I
issue.
said Dune again.
To be fair,
I thought we were
when I
going
sent you
retro.
guys the list, I shorted up to what's the...
Whatever. Okay, so this issue
So he may have read number 5
opened
again.
opened way differently than I thought it would be. I thought it would open right where we left off. Instead, it kind of did a re-origin
Recap.
of Lucy Weber. That part I wasn't very fond of.
Especially when didn't we have a whole series about that?
We had a whole series
Sure,
about her,
Frankenstein.
and it's like way different. Way different.
Yeah, I thought didn't Dr. Frankenstein send her there? Mm-hmm. And now
But-
we show that.
No, he was going to help her.
But does that mean?
I don't think he sent her anywhere. He just agreed to help.
But does
okay.
that mean potentially that Madame Dragonfly created that whole story?
No.
But
I don't
this
know. I
part
have
with
to go
this
back
other
and see.
person is the one that actually
Dr.
got
Starr
her
actually
there.
sent her there, but I swear in that miniseries, Dr. Frankenstein sent her to the Black Hammer universe. He said, "Let's try this. I know it's going to work."
Well, who's she talking to that knows Dr. Starr? Because there's a middleman that she's talking to. Someone calls her in the middle of the night and goes, I know somebody who can help you. Who is this?
Oh, really?
Like 3 in the morning?
I thought it was Dr. Starr calling her up.
No,
I read it. Let me look.
I don't think
I don't
so.
know.
Because he goes, I have a friend who can help you. And then they bring her to the astrology lab.
Yeah. So everything from the beginning of that book to the astrology lab, not my favorite.
No.
But from the astrology lab on, turned into one of the best books I've ever read.
It was
It was okay
it's
for me.
hard.
I actually felt to me like there was
that build
too much
was
exposition. Yeah, like I don't know. I didn't hate it, but also I felt like it might have been the weakest one in this run, just because they spent so much time trying to explain it. And I was like, okay, so like I get it.
I guess everyone was taking turns yelling at Madame Dragonfly for the same thing.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I don't know. I just felt like a lot of time to explain, like, oh, this wasn't real, and like, no, it was real. It's in the. She explained it like 4 different times. Like, what
Yeah.
exactly?
Well, then just shows you that all the other characters are stupid.
But I don't get why she would have to put them under some spell to keep them from Earth. Why don't you just be like, yo, like they're all heroes. Why don't you just be like, hey, if we stay on Earth, we'll like that anti-god's coming back and
Dr.
wiping out
Frankenstein and her found the probe, and he's like, I think I know somebody who knows what this is, and then he brings her to Dr. Starr.
So that's right.
Yeah. So she is. Yeah. So he was helping her.
Okay.
So, but I'm just saying, as a hero, why do these heroes have to be knocked out with like a hallucination dream?
What I don't understand
keep
is
them from Earth?
Because the way I understood is that they were knocked unconscious when Colonel Weir takes them through the parazone. So they're already unconscious, and they thought they wouldn't be able to handle the shock of being there.
they would want to go back.
That they want to go back and fight them to go back.
My only
that she
question
put them under.
Is so Black Hammer tries to get out and he dies because he goes into the parazone.
Right.
But it's also the outside of the farm, and that's why he dies. But they've all gone to the edge of the farm and they all can't get past it. And she's like, the edge of the farm was the edge of the ship.
How did he get out?
But they're all sedated.
Yeah,
So like they never went to the edge of the ship. So how did he get out?
he got. But that was the thing. He woke up. Yeah, he woke up.
But I know,
from
but
it.
they've all been like they all can see his body. So obviously they all have gone to that edge, but they're all still there. So it really isn't the edge of the ship. It's like them and you know what I mean?
It's the edge of their mind.
For him, she's saying no, the edge of the ship is the edge of the farm, but they're not leaving the thing. So
Oh.
how are they going to that place? Shouldn't they not go play near where he died?
But to me, they're not moving. It literally was that Black Hammer was moving. He got up and went. He was still in that mind trap that she's got going on, but he's literally outside of his container. They're still in their container, resting, unconscious, thinking they're going
Yeah.
to the edge of the ship. He literally gets up and walks the ship. My question is, how did the ship not implode on itself? How did he get out? Did he open a door? Because the way I understood, he just kind of burst right through it.
How did
they all would have died.
They were like, we didn't notice him leaving. There's literally nothing on that fucking ship. What are you doing?
There's that parazone, though. I don't think it's defined by our space rules, though.
And maybe that's the thing. We're still getting into that realm of what's real and what's not.
And Colonel Strange going between, like, that one in the Parazone, like, going between dimensions and all that time shit. What's that about now? Is that him going to the fake reality and coming out of it? Is that him? And then he can't remember what's real and what's not real? Like, I don't understand. Like, a lot of the story, I thought we get a lot of answers on this issue, especially when there's one more left, right? I thought we get a lot more answers on, like, how this all fits together. But instead, we got the same answer 4 different times, like retelling us, be like, no, it's not all fake. It's all, first, it was all people from alternate realities that she brought in and put in, like, this fake world, this mind melt kind of universe.
But what about that? So now I have more, but I have so many.
That's what I mean. Is this going to be
now.
it, though? I guess if this is it, this issue for me is kind of like, it's kind of a letdown. If there's more, then okay, we can learn more.
Does that mean they're wrapping up Black Hammer, though? Like, that's the thing.
I haven't heard any other series announced.
Yeah.
This is it.
If this is...
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's the end
They're all
of
done.
October.
But if this is the end, like, that's kind of fucked. That sucks because, like, the question is what happened? What about that House of Evil? What's that?
That's what I mean. We watched Lost, right? This would be
Yeah.
like,
No.
it's in end of season 1, you see the hatch, and then they're like, yeah, the whole series is done after the next issue. And you're like, what the fuck is that, though? Like, none of this
Yeah.
makes sense anymore. We're at that place where, like, they're revealing all this stuff, being like, hey, it wasn't what you thought the whole time, but we're not going to tell you actually what it was.
Right.
Which is fine. You leave mysteries, but also when you're trying to explain them quickly and you do it like so many 4 times, for me, it just was like, why even try to explain it then? Like, why just have them, like, you could have ended the whole series with them coming out of the reality and be like, this wasn't real the whole time. Okay. Then I'm just like, oh, then all those questions, I'm like, oh, cool. It would have been this whole theory where we could talk theories for like forever about it.
Yeah.
But then he tells you what happened. And then now it's like, okay, well, this doesn't fit the reality that we know. Like, how does this happen? Does this make sense?
There's still one more series actually going. It's Quantum Legacy.
Are you sure? Dude, I haven't seen an issue come out for 2 months now.
Then you must have
Oh,
missed
yeah, I
issue
forgot
2.
about I missed that whole series. How many issues are out?
There's only been 2.
There's only 2 so
I gotta
far.
go back and get them.
Maybe it's only 2. Did you read 2?
I
Let me
read
look
2.
it up.
It was
Quantum
boring.
Legacy?
Is there a to be continued?
Yeah, there's still.
maybe there's
I think
one
it's 3
more.
or 4.
Okay.
So there may be still.
But that's like the future of the universe.
Yes.
So maybe it's like the last issue will be like the epilogue of the series because it seems like Black Hammer's almost done, man.
Which is disappointing.
I was expecting it to go on for years.
And the weird thing is that I almost feel like I'm being a jackass, not making fun, but just stating this is not this did not feel like a Jeff Lemire book. This felt like somebody else writing this book and putting the dialogue. Where usually Jeff is so on the nose and solid. I don't. There's.
See, I
it
like
left
this.
me- it
I
left
like
me
this a lot
wanting.
more in my head coming into this, but now you guys are like pointing it out to me. It is pretty
It's
shoddy.
choppy. It's choppy. There's things that are missing, and Marvin's right. It's different if you're going to end this book last issue and be like, hey, everything that they've experienced, not real. All in their head. And now we're trying to quantify what's going on, and now I'm just like, okay, all the 40 issues that you've built up in my head with all the other side books and all this jazz, it's not living up nearly to the expectation I have for this.
Is there 3 issues out of Quantum Age?
I think only 2 have come out that I know of.
Oh, it says issue 4 is coming out in October.
Well, then
So
maybe
we
next
still
week.
have, maybe we still have
Next week
or
might
the
be
week
coming out
after.
then. Or I've missed it.
Here it is. Let me check. Quantum Age from the World of the Black Hammer number 3 comes out October 10th. Also 2 come out next month.
Okay. I'm going to give this issue, now you guys said that, 6. Like, you
It
guys
was
brought
a
up some
7
good
for me.
points.
It was an average. I mean, it wasn't bad. It still was Jeff Lemire.
Can't be average. Average is a C. Is a C.
50.
Like I definitely did not feel cheated by buying this issue. I definitely did not feel like I can't recommend this whole series to anybody. However, it does make me feel cheated in the way being like, I feel like this issue is wasted time.
Yeah.
Like,
But maybe it'll make more sense. We don't have the full story.
if there's more,
and
that's what I
that's-
say.
and that's
It won't
the
be
thing.
wasted time if there's more, but there's not more that's been announced. So that's for me. It feels that way right now.
Well, and then that's why my thing about Jeff Lemire and how this issue doesn't feel like him. You know what? Maybe the next issue, whatever, issue 7 or 6 or whatever the number is, it may wrap everything up real nicely for me, and I will be content to be like, hey, that was a great issue. It made all the rest of the book come together and make sense. So I could be wrong. I don't feel
As of
like
right now.
Yeah, as of right now, this particular issue in its own was weaker than any of the other books I've read from Jeff Lemire.
You know what I think it is? In all of Jeff Lemire's books, and I think we've said this over and over again in the Year of Lemire and then the Year of Lemire 2 Jeff comes back. The thing that we always say over and over again, Jeff knows what he's doing. It sounds like he has it all planned out. It never feels like he's making it up. It always feels like he has the world made up, and like the books always feel like there's payoff, and everything feels like it's something that exists, even if it wasn't a comic book, like the world exists. And this felt like that, and now we're told the world doesn't exist, and now the solution to that, or the answer, is like something that feels made up. So, and that's what it feels like. This was like made up at the last second. It doesn't feel like it fits with anything else. And I think that's the biggest takeaway here, is that it feels like this is like a rushed kind of reveal. Like if it feels like it's just all of a sudden in the last two issues, be like, hey, it's not real, guys.
Hey, but maybe we're feeling what the characters are feeling then.
Maybe
we were told this elaborate story of greatness and how exciting their little life was in Spiral City. Turns out maybe their real lives aren't all that exciting, because you know what? I found that Abraham Slam, he's not he's kind of a whiner.
Oh,
He's like, no, I want to live my life that I had with Tammy. Let me have my life with her, please, 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 please. And you're like, holy shit, dude, you should be out on that Parazone.
I would have been like, dude, you just like DH 30, 40 years. Like,
you're not an
be
old
happy. Man. You can find a million Tammys.
And I think Golden Girl, or Golden Gale, just think she can finally turn back to the old woman that she's supposed to be, because she never could re-age. I mean, there's things that I make. The idea is nice, but I'm.
But that makes it seem interesting, like why all their, like, at least for Abraham Slam and Barbalian, like their love interests, like first were like no, and then right away, nah, actually we're okay. Like we can fall in love. It was like too quick,
because she thought that they would reject that reality and not want to live there anymore and try to escape. But if they would have kept them there if they liked them, so. I did feel like those character moments actually did work for me, because Gail would be mad that somebody like tried to trick her. That's what she was more concerned about than actually going back to her old life. Abraham that's like he never wanted to leave the farm. That's the only reason what he wanted to do. Now when he realized that wasn't real, obviously now he's like, no, make it real again. I don't care about going back. Like he had nothing left for him, because he talks about in one issue like superhero like Black Hammer, like people with actual powers were showing up, and he kind of was getting out of it. Like he wasn't as needed as more. So here he's needed, and here he can be somewhere where he can be happy. So I did see like why he wanted to go back to that fake reality. So character moments worked out for me, but like story wise, that's where it was weak for me. Like it's like where, like, I don't know. It felt like it was a slower reveal. Like if they would have been in the farm, like find all these things, and we had a little bit of that, and then maybe. I don't know what you have to do, but I just feel like the reveal was quick, and now it feels like this book's ending, and then that's going to be it. Or if Jeff Lemire does like 3 or 4 more of these books, then I'm fine. I guess we'll see. So it was a 7.
This would be a C.
This for me on the Richter scale was a 4.6. That is Black Hammer Age of Doom number 4, Batman number 5. Excuse me. I thought. Batman Damned number 1, Mr. Miracle number 11, A Black Badge number 2, Return of Wolverine number 1, and Immortal Hulk number 6. Those are the comic books coming out this week. Get them wherever you get your comic books. Look a comic book shop online anytime or digitally, whatever you do. But if you get digitally, watch out. You might get censored with your
the man owns you if you're digital.
Oh, I'm owned by DC, baby.
Hey, come back to print, Marvin.
Siouxpercon, Return of the Con, December 28th, 29th, and 30th. Wednesday Comics will be doing a live show at Siouxpercon September 28th at 8 p.m. It's going to be about a 2-hour show. And, Gary, what are we going to have at that show?
Well, we're going to be doing some games. For those of you that just listened to our first ever game show, it'll be kind of similar to that. And yes, because Marvin's making the games, the rules will make sense. But, we're going to have guests from the shows past. Maybe hashtag Guest House One will be there. Maybe the Roots of the Swamp Thing might be there. I don't know.
Come and see. A lot of surprises. We'll see who will be there. We're playing games. It's going to be a lot of fun. September 28th at 8 p.m. 2-hour show. $10 to get you in for the day, but I recommend the weekend pass because you want to be there for Siouxpercon 2018, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Go to siouxpercon.com for more information. So we're going to play a little game. This is the game we played in the past. I'm going to rename it and change the rules a little bit.
What? You're going to change the rules?
I'm remaking a game. You know what? They reboot shit all the time. This is a reboot. This is the first Wednesday Comics reboot.
I have a prediction. I'm gonna do Charles Xavier. You're going to win this game.
This game is brought to you by Siouxpercon, us at Siouxpercon. Return of the Con 2018 will be there September 28th at 8 p.m. doing a show. We need that at Packed House. Jimmy's going to be there, old game show host, drunk game show host. He's going to put on a game show for all you with returning guests, and Alex and Garrett will be there. And their Wednesday Comics gear, get that at Twitter on Wednesday Comics, at Wednesday Comics, or on Facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. They'll be there in their baseball tees. Garrett showed me it right before we got in here, and looks fantastic.
Look nice.
Looks really nice. He's going to be wearing it. I got to tell you something afterwards. But we'll see you guys there. Siouxpercon. So before this game is called This or That, week title, go back and I pass Marvin in the face. Obviously, just like Enchantress did to Bruce. And I went back and I said, we got to rename this game. So this game is called Confidence Man. It's said now. And, con, right? Con Man.
Confidence Man?
Confidence Man. Con Man is short for Confidence Man.
Okay.
So remember past this and that was like I gave you two scenarios. You would pick one, and then and if you didn't ask enough questions, I would tell you the real reality of that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
now I am the Confidence Man. I'm conning you into these situations.
You got hit by a bus.
And so
Is that one of the answers to one?
I'm going to give you guys three scenarios, and you both are going to give me what your answers are, and I'll let you know make sure you ask all the questions you want to. Before so the things that are different. Before I went to one by one. Now it's a group thing. You guys can kind of group think this thing together.
Jeez, we're gonna get screwed over
You
together.
either pick separate answers if that's the way you're going. If you can't agree on one, or you can
be on my
pick
team.
the same
I'm
one.
gonna lose.
Yeah,
So here we go. Here's the first scenario. You'll let me know any questions you have. I'm open for questions here.
Okay.
I'm going to sell you some snake oil here.
guy's gonna fuck us over.
First scenario. You can be Batman.
Okay.
However, either your parents die in front of you, which is obvious, or, in this Batman, you might be different. If you guys don't pick this, they don't have to die. Your parents die in front of you, or A, or B, you are Batman in a world where Joker is not the funny Joker. He's the real evil Joker, and he's constantly torturing your loved ones and killing them. You can never be happy. Which one?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Ask me any questions
So
you
you
want.
have to lose my family in front of me.
Your parents only.
My parents only.
How
I
old,
lo-
how
or-
old are they at this time in their life?
You will be 7, and they will be 32.
So I'm even. I'm a year younger than I'm supposed to be regularly.
We're gonna go 7.
So is this the Heath Ledger Joker and the Anarchist Joker?
No, worse.
Worse than the Anarchist
This
Joker.
is the
And so what do
guy
you mean he kills all your loved ones?
in this reality. He knows that you're Batman, but he doesn't care. He used that information to make sure that you're. He knows that you're Bruce Wayne, or knows that you're Alex Pascal, knows that you're Garrett, and he used that information to make sure you're never happy.
So at least we know it's not Martha
Because
Wayne.
he
as
wants to
the
keep
Joker.
he wants to keep you guys around. He knows you're fueled by sadness and all that, so you can never be happy in his reality.
Can we kill? Are we killer Batman, or we have to follow that one
The
rule?
In
hell
which
kind
one?
of Batman you want
In
to
which
be?
universe?
Either.
In either one.
You can in the one where the Joker doesn't want you to be happy. The other one you're not. You're
Okay,
straight
you're-
up Cape Crusader.
Okay.
But just because you can kill, you don't have to kill, though.
That Batman feels like if Joker's going to go that way, then he's going to go that way. Because he doesn't have his parents dying to kind of lead him in the right way. And you guys don't have your parents dying to lead you in the right way. So it's more of a Batman that comes out of fear and hate than one that comes out of trying to make sure everybody's safe.
But you said, well, hold on. You said he still would hurt your loved ones. Which loved ones of your family on that Joker side?
Where the scenario is that he obviously wouldn't hurt your parents because they're safe in this universe.
Okay.
Everybody else.
Okay.
Any girlfriend you ever had, gone. If you ever try to,
Hey,
if he
I got
lets
an
you
idea.
if he lets you get a girlfriend and a wife and you have kids, he'll let you string along and be like, hey, Joker's fucking gone, all right? And then all of a sudden, boom, he's there. He's there at your child's first birthday, and adios, everybody.
Well, see, this is if we were on the same team.
You got a best friend. You take the bus to work every day, and you got a best friend who's the bus driver.
What's my armor
Bus blows.
set on each
Dude,
story?
my ex is like, you know what I don't want to do then. So,
Yeah,
I mean, the golden path is looking pretty good right now.
Any brothers and sisters you have, dead.
What's
Damn.
my uniform set? Am I wearing actually body armored outfit? Am I
Or is it Adam West?
stabbable? Yeah. Am I just wearing cloth suit?
In the first one where your parents die, it is more cloth. You're less protected. You're more Cape Crusader because you have a funny Joker in that one. He doesn't give a shit. Instead, he's throwing pies in your faces.
Okay.
And since in the other one he's throwing grenades in your faces, you're fully suited up, and it's like armor.
Okay.
Hey,
Which one are you
but
leaning towards?
I'm thinking the one where the Joker can make you feel miserable, because I'm the fucking Batman. I'll just make shit happen, and like I'll delay all day to make sure that nothing happens to my loved ones. And if they do, hey, at least I tried my best. Parents getting shot.
At least I tried my
That's true.
best.
If my parents get shot in front of me, I have no choice in that.
Yeah, but at least
A Batman can at least try to save them.
But then I'm seeing it as you lose 2 people to save the rest of the world, or you save 2 people, you lose 2 people, and everyone's
Listen,
safe.
it's that Joker is going to try and make you unhappy. Doesn't mean that you are
He's successful.
You're right. Is he successful?
Yeah, if you don't care that everybody in your world would die.
So they're
wait.
but that's a lose-lose. There's no there's no silver lining on
What do you
either
mean?
side.
If your parents just die, you can get over it.
Does fucked up Joker, is he a methodical, well thought out planner, or is he one of those spare the moments where I can just sneak up and garrote him from behind and kill him first before he gets a hold of anybody?
It's a good question. The Joker in that world, the one that is menacing and very evil, is a Joker that is always 3 steps ahead of you.
Okay. See, I'm aiming towards the Adam West Batman.
I don't know, bro.
Hey, if he's gonna, because I guess once he kills my family, I will literally King Kong him, break his face, and then try to close his mouth.
Which one do we want to pick here?
I'm gonna say funny Joker.
It's
Funny?
between a rock and a hard place. Like,
Garrett, are you going to go with him? You gonna do Funny Joker, or are you going to go? You're actually going to
You can be Dark Knight or Cape Crusader.
You're going to be the Dark Joker.
Dark Knight, dude?
Okay.
Like
Joker, the Dark Joker.
the Dark Joker. Like
Okay.
he might try to be 3 steps ahead of me, but I'm Batman.
You guys didn't
so-
ask this question, so I'll give it to you now. Once again, here it is. You bought the snake oil. Now you find out it doesn't work. Alex, in that scenario, you are the best of the best Batman. However, since in that universe, your arch nemesis is Joker, and he's really just a Joker kind of guy, you get bored, and you're kind of a Batman that's just always bored because you're too good. Not the best.
That's not the worst.
It's not the worst out of the 2 scenarios. Garrett, you didn't ask this question. You should ask more questions. In this
More
universe,
questions. We asked like 30.
in this universe where Joker is 3 steps ahead of you, he's Superman and he's evil. You are not the best of the best. You're a Batman who can't really get karate. He stays at that low level. You're a guy who tries to make gadgets, but they never really work. And the reason why Joker wants to keep you unhappy is because he doesn't see you're more of an annoying thing to him, and he wants to get rid of you. But he also likes torturing you in that way to make sure that you're never happy. So
You're right. I'm going to win this game.
Some bullshit.
You got hit by a
So you
bus.
can-
But your parents are dead, so look at you.
you can either be bored and unfulfilled in what you want to do, or you can be a guy who keeps trying to be frustrated because you probably.
You're like the dumb friend no one likes.
When I made the scenario, all I imagine is you using the grappling gun and you try to go off the roof and you just fall down. Oh, and Joker's just like, this fucking guy again. Jeez.
No.
He's trying to do a
I'll
public
climb the
service to get
stairs
you out of
this
there.
time. I'll Spider-Man up the stairs.
Here's the next one. You can have super strength, but you go blind with rage when you go super strength. And so it's not like a Hulk thing. You don't change. People still see you as you. You just go blind with rage. You can't control yourself. You're like behind. You guys ever
Berserker
see?
mode?
You guys ever see Get Out?
No.
Oh, okay. In Get Out, he goes to the sunken place, so it's like he can like see through his eyes, but somebody else is controlling him. That's what happens. You can't really control yourself, but you go super strength. Or every time you go super strength, you age 10 years. You get older by 10 years.
Okay.
Which one would you want?
If I do the first one, give me the length of super strength. Am I lifting cars, or can I punch hard enough just to, dent a car?
You can, if you punch the mountain, it would break in half.
Wow, I'm super strong. Okay.
Who's controlling us?
The person controlling you don't know who it is an entity, but this person, I did say blind with rage, but I just mean because of the power. Like there's so much into you. This guy actually is like not uncontrollable. He actually does have his own thoughts, and he does do heroic things every once in a while. But it's not somebody.
Is that
who,
for
like-
either? Is that for both?
For the first one, the other one is you. You are controlling it. You just aged 10 years.
Dude, that first one. Why would... It's not worth it. As you saw with Gotham guy. Like, dude, no. You... Number one.
Yeah.
100%. I don't even ask that many questions. I'm sure there's going to be some fucking loophole. But still, like, I'd rather have uncontrollable rage that I'm still trying to do heroic things. But hey, even Wolverine does. Sometimes he berserker modes.
Or you're aged 10 years. What's wrong with that?
Because then I'll be your age.
Do I know the difference when is there different strengths of berserker rage, or is it always the same thing?
What, the first one?
Yeah. Do I just Hulk out and destroy everything?
Yeah, you can't. There's no strength.
There's
or
no
like
good,
your
there's no
strength-
bad.
There's
It's-
your strength right now normal, or there's this.
Okay. So it's 100 or nothing.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing.
It's like popping a Red Bull or nothing. You got wings or you don't got wings.
Pop that red.
When I Hulk out in the second one, how long does that Hulk out last?
That one
Is
will
it-
last until you get rid of it. But
Is it still-
every time you turn it, for as long as that session is, you age 10 years. It doesn't matter if you do it for 1 second or if you do it for a year.
Okay.
Do it for 10 years.
You can.
And you've only aged 10 years?
Yeah.
But I'm still berserker rage.
But I guess
No, and that one
I
you just
actually
have super
control
strength.
that.
You control that one.
But do you age 10 years at the end of that term?
After the session, you age 10 years.
Okay.
So I could be Hulked out for 100 years,
and then you would die.
and then I'm already dead, so I won't have to worry about it.
Is that a
then-
question?
then you
yes?
would supernova.
It's him and
You're
I.
saying-
Ooh.
Is that a
And
statement?
go
or yes?
binary.
Okay, now I'm thinking the second one.
Yeah.
Let's go second.
I'm going to go with the second one.
Pick number 2, my lord.
So number 2, every time you go and get super strength, you age 10 years.
Yep.
A question you did not ask, but actually it's a benefit. If you do go and use it for 100 years, you only do age 10 years. So the 100 years does not, because the way you go super strength, like your body can only age 10 years. So you can live longer if you
I'll
want
still
to.
be 29
Yeah.
or whatever.
You'll just have been alive for that long.
You can be super strength for 100 years and only age 10 years when you get out of it. You could, if you want to, indefinitely be super strength and then, never die, I guess, in that way.
Master it.
The only downside to it is obviously anybody who you know in real life will not be able to keep up with you, so they'll age at a normal rate. So then you lose everybody in your life. Eventually, if you age for 100 years, then they'll all pass away. Or if you do it indefinitely, so you'll be the Infinity Man.
Time Traveler's wife, dude. I can handle it.
You'll be the Infinity Man, but you will
Fade away into the sun like Superman. Oh, fuck.
You remember that issue of Superman in the end, or in the 1000 Action Comics? That's
Yeah.
what happened. The sun will be blowing up the earth, and you'll be sitting, you'll be like, "Fuck! I should only did it for 10 years."
But see, the one thing, though, is that if, after 20 years of being hulked out when other people are getting old and stuff, I'll just de-hulk. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm that same age as that person. Then
Yeah, you can do that certainly.
Then I can always hulk
Then
out
you can
again.
Hulk out again. But I mean, eventually it's going to add up. 10
Eventually
years,
someone's
10
going to
years, 10
die,
years.
and I'm still going to be young and hot. But
Hey, you can use that adrenaline for a lot of things.
I'm glad you guys didn't pick option 1. Go blind with rage, and somebody else controls your body, and then you have super strength. You can only do that 3 times, and then he takes over fully for the rest of your life.
good thing we
Shit, yeah.
And you don't know that ahead of time. So you're like, third time, you're like, hey, let me back in there. He's like, oh, fuck you.
You're
I
out.
got this now.
It's my body
So-
now.
That actually was a better choice you guys picked. I mean,
Nice.
as you use it, like if you use it incorrectly and you go, I'm going to go super strength for today, one day, and you're like, fuck, I'm 10 years older now, then you fucked up. But
So we asked the right questions on that.
I'm 11. I hulked out. I'm 21. I'm going drinking.
third scenario here, it has to deal with time travel. You can either have the ability to go back 1 minute in time or go forward 1 year only. Back 1 minute or forward 1 year. You can never, I'll give you a question to kind of see where we're going with this. You can never go back. So if you go back 1 minute, you can't go forward 1 minute. You don't have the ability to go forward and back, either back 1 minute or forward 1 year. That's it. So if you go forward a year, you can never go back to that past year you missed.
No, I can only go. But is this the same thing? I can either go back. So it's the same body. I can either go forward a year or I can go back 1 minute, right? So I can always go back 1 minute. I can always go forward another year.
There's different scenarios.
Okay.
Either A, all you can do is go back 1 minute,
Yep.
or B, go forward 1 year. That's
how
your
many
only-
how many times can you use this ability?
Which one?
Either.
The one where you go
They're
back.
indefinite.
They're indefinite?
Yep.
So is it kind of like Next with Nicolas Cage that I could, if I chose to go back, I could constantly go back a minute so many times that I could like do scenarios where I could like see what happens next?
Yeah. It is what like a do.
Does it have a side effect that affects your body?
It's a quick do-over. The only side effect that would happen is that
Severe
you kind of lose the ability to make decisions and stick with them because obviously you're gonna go back minutes. So you're always second guessing yourself, but then also you have the ability to see what works out, but only for a minute, right? So you're never gonna let anything live out to see the final possibilities. You're always gonna be like, ooh, maybe this is a bad choice. 1 minute. So it'd be good for like quick things like, oh, I just got in a car accident. Let me go back a minute, right? But then if you're like, ooh, I don't know, was that a good decision with my love life that what I just did? And if you go back a minute, you never see it fully happen. And so you're always like, you can't go a full year and be like, ooh, fuck, I should have made, you can't, then obviously you can just go back a minute. It's not really, it's for small decisions only. Like big decisions, obviously you can't change it.
What's the side effect of going forward a year?
Going forward a year, you don't age that year. You age at a normal progression. All you do is like, you have no memories of that full year, obviously, before going forward in time. So it's a constant thing of being like, not knowing what's going on.
Do the people have memories of my?
You were still around.
Okay,
And basically just being like blacked out for a year.
Okay, and the time and space continue. If I were to go back in time in a minute now, I would still be sitting where I am right now.
Let me make a little.
But if I go forward in a year, would I literally still be sitting here?
Let me make a correction because actually I just misspoke. You don't age at normal progression. You do that year. It's like you skipped a year, but also like you were around. There was basically.
It's like click being
clone.
on autopilot.
There's a husk of me.
Yeah, it's like
standing.
autopilot. Like
Yeah.
it knew what you mostly would like to do. So it kind of used that scenarios based on your former decisions to make decisions.
Dude, tactical, back a minute.
So it basically was like a robot you for a whole year.
Hey, dude, vampire sneeze
Yeah,
bed.
I mean, clone me would be a douche canoe.
You think so? It'd be
'cause
you.
I don't think he would do anything I
It'd
like
be
to
you.
do.
No, I want to do the back a minute because tactical, I just think of Nicolas Cage next. Like, you could make so many course corrections. You only live life once, but at least this gets you your fair shake.
You go back a minute, Alex. What would you use going back a minute
Dude,
for?
you'd miss.
Oh.
What if it was the year that your daughter was learning to ride a bike? You'd miss that year.
I was gonna say, that's my thing is that I'm already out of the year. The year one just doesn't.
Well, that's the big thing about going forward a year, right? You don't know what you missed.
Yeah.
Right.
Going back a minute, you'll know what the whole minute is, but it's not really like the only thing it's useful for is the small decisions. That's what I'm saying. So like
Yeah, I agree.
going forward a year would be useful, but also it's more like the bad thing come out of is you miss a year.
But the thing that's like getting dropped in the middle of the ocean, not knowing where you are, no compass. The only thing you guys to look at the sun, going, "Oh, okay, well maybe I'm going the right
Going
direction."
forward a year is really a selfish thing.
Yeah.
It's like I want to see like
But there's no way that I would know that these things would have played out because the clone me would not necessarily the rogue me. I don't think would think things through. There's no decision making where it sounds like at least if I'm going back a minute, it's literally Garrett and I
But I'm
choosing
saying,
to go back a
what
minute.
if you want to get the new iPhone? You can jump forward a year.
That won't be a problem. I don't have
Or
iPhone. I have an
I
Android.
go a minute back, kill the guy in front of the line, and then I take the front of the line.
So I choose to go back 1 minute.
1 minute.
Wait a second. If you go back a minute, you kill the guy's still gonna be dead.
Yeah, he's in
You'll be
Correct.
arrested.
Now, if they don't see me, I'll do another minute back and do ninja close.
But then he won't be dead.
No, I'll ninja close and then kill him.
Oh, okay. You're gonna do what Garrett did? Go back a minute?
We're gonna go back a minute.
The bad thing about going back a minute here is because you guys didn't ask enough questions about going back.
You said always.
The thing about going back a minute is that that one you do not gain the minute, like age wise. You still age at a normal progression, so you still live that minute. So you can only do this like the amount of times you can do it is
Infinite up to you
Up
dying.
Yeah.
until I'm dead.
normal progression. So your hair and stuff is so grow.
I'm
so
in
if
the
you,
here and now.
If you did it like, so obviously 60 minutes can be an hour. So if you did it 60 times in a row, then that's an hour's worth of time. So your hair and stuff would still grow at normal progression, and your body would be aging. So
You know, the nice thing is only a minute at a time. We'll be fine.
Yeah. It's like my Netflix subscription for life. I don't care.
What's the bad part for being the year ahead?
it was what we talked about. You guys actually thought about it, right? You don't really. You're on autopilot, right? It's not really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You really
And your
don't.
wife's a teacher.
You really don't
Vampire
live that year.
high five.
And like, what would you use going forward a year for?
But
You
this
thought
is-
about. Let's say
I would say only if you wanted like a promotion to see if you got it.
But then again, would you actually get the promotion because you're not really you? Yes, you're maybe making the most C-level
it would have
decisions.
to be. It would have to be. You do all the work to get the promotion. It basically is them just making the decision, and then you jump forward a year.
Find
and
out you didn't get it anyway.
You're already doing the job, being like, oh,
Or
fuck.
what if there's a movie you really want to see, like Infinity
That's
War
what I mean.
Part 2?
It would be for stupid, selfish stuff. To be
Yeah.
like, let me go forward a year and see what's happening, and then you'd be like, well, I missed a year. So it really is like going into a coma, but you're actually alive. No, but nobody really like notices you're gone.
Do you like my Nick Cage reference for the next?
I would pick going back a
minute
minute too.
Yeah.
That'd be like if you slip and fell nice. Fuck, let's go back.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm gonna go around this.
What would you pick for those other two options?
Oh, okay. Here
Would you have done the Anarchy Batman?
Let my parents die and cartoon Joker. It's fine.
You said that way too nonchalant. Yeah,
I can be around with the cartoon Joker because then I can get a family stuff and I'll be fulfilled there rather than me and Batman. It's fine. The other one I would I'd probably go Blind for Age. Something that guy take over. I'm not running my life that well. Wednesday Comics 605 at gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know what you would pick. 605-215-1849. Sends a voicemail just like Sarge did.
I just know that you would use those 3 whole codes in like a row in one day, and then you'd
Be like, guess I'm done, guys.
fine.
This guy being like,
Because you would forget that you were going to get taken over.
at Wednesday Comics on Twitter, at Alex Mastrello, at Karat2188, at Marvin_Salguero. You can find us on Facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. And make sure to go to our YouTube page, Wednesday Comics, search for that, or WednesdayComics.com for more information. Find us at Siouxpercon 2018, Return of the Con, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. That is this upcoming weekend. When you're hearing this, it's the upcoming Friday. We will be there for a live show on the 28th from 8 to 10. And then we will be around the con. We'll be at a booth on the floor, so come see us. It's more just come see us if you want to. And we'll be doing some things in there, so come and say hi. We'll say hello to you. We'll give you a little salute and say hello. Wait, book club, Garrett?
Wednesday Comics, League of Extraordinary Gentle People, proudly presents Sandman, Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes. You only got 2 weeks left to read it because by October 4th...
Shit, hey, everybody, you need to send me what you want me to talk about. What you want our next
Alex
book.
needs suggestions, but if you have any comments about the book, we have her voicemail. And Marvin, what's that number?
605-215-1849.
That's why I ask him because he always knows. But yeah, leave a review there. We'd love to hear what you think. It doesn't have to be just a voicemail. You could also just write into the show. You could send a DM on Twitter. You could message us on Instagram. The Facebook. Is it still called the Facebook?
The Facebook.
You could message us on the Facebook and put it on there. So there's all kinds of avenues that you can give us your review.
Mail?
I mean, you may have already read Sandman. Go back, look it over, and be like, oh, yeah, I remember why I love this book, and tell us why.
Or if you hate it, you should tell us now so we don't read it.
Too late. It's the book club. You have to read it.
Subscribe to the show on Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Share it to your friends and share the show with them. If you guys are fans of the show and you have friends who like comic books but don't never listen to the show and you live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, come to Siouxpercon 2018, Return of the Con. And you can come see us live. Maybe they'll enjoy us there, and it's a good night out. It's after dark. There'll be a bar, and there'll be us, and there's a concert after we're done. So come out. $10 for that day, $30 for the weekend. If you want to get into MAP, that's happening that night. Obviously, it's happening the same time as our show. But if you listen to our show, I would say come to our show. But also, that's there also. So go to Siouxpercon.com. There's more information. And make sure. Rootsofswampthing.com. Go to rootsofswampthing.com. John Boylan will be at Siouxpercon. Let me actually announce, because I did confirm, so I can say John Boylan will be there from rootsofswampthing.com. He's been on the show before. Dylan Jacobson from Champions Comics will be there. Mikey Martinez and the local artist, Comic Book Genie. If you go to comicgenie.com, will be there. And we have Tom Devine from Comic Book Look will also be on the show. It'll be these four with these two, and me being, or it's going to be not me, I'll be in character, Jimmy. And we're doing some games.
Spoilers.
I said at the beginning of the show.
You said Jimmy's going to be there.
Didn't say you were Jimmy.
They're going to know.
Better edit this out. Real Jimmy, can you edit this?
We're gonna do a game show, The Gauntlet, that we kind of pre-tested here. I think we said on that show even like this is a pre-test of us doing it, where we do multiple games, then we add up the scores at the end, and we see who the winner is. Garrett,
Gauntlet.
yeah,
What?
The Gauntlet.
What about it? It's not a pretest.
No, not that gauntlet. Just literally running the gauntlet.
Oh, okay. He's
Did you
using
remember
a cliche. Got it.
We had a game show called The Gauntlet where it was all our games, and then you run the gauntlet, and then you get points at the end. Whoever has the most out of all the games.
Those are some late nights, bud.
So we'll show up there, do some games. The games, we'll keep that under lock till you show up. But they are fun games, and we're ready to go, baby. So if you want to see Alex, Garrett, Marvin in person, Jimmy, maybe Steven will be there. Who knows?
Steven's dead.
Who's still alive?
No, Jimmy's dead.
Jimmy's dead. Steven's alive. We need a waiter.
More importantly, zombie Jimmy's coming over.
Oh yeah, guest host 1. Is he gonna be there?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll be there.
Hashtag guess this one.
Jimmy might. Steven might there. I need somebody to deliver me the drinks. So I don't know.
He's horrible at that.
But we'd like to see you at SuperCons. We'll see you there. My name is Marvin.
I'm Alex.
I'm Garrett.
Hey everyone, keep turning those pages.